Just I'm gonna think about it some.
FOTMs, do you know what time it is? It's toast time. Toast, featuring Stu Stone, Cam Gordon.
No!
That's toast.
Yeah. It's a good bit.
Toast.
Oh, here we go. Oh, that's a good one.
Toronto.
If they ever come back and do another toast, I'm going to have Peter Gross record one with Rob Preuss and Bob Willette, and I'll play that one.
Very nice, yes.
I'm so clever. Welcome to episode 1674 of Toronto Mic'd, proudly brought to you by Great Lakes Brewery, a fiercely independent craft brewery who believes in supporting communities, good times, and brewing amazing beer. Order online for free local home delivery in the GTA. Palma Pasta. Enjoy the taste of fresh, homemade Italian pasta and entrees from Palma Pasta in Mississauga and Oakville. Yes, we are open, an award-winning podcast from Moneris, hosted by FOTM Al Grego. Silverwax.ca. Use the promo code TorontoMike10 at checkout and save 10%. RecycleMyElectronics.ca. Committing to our planet's future means properly recycling our electronics of the past. Building Toronto Skyline, a podcast and book from Nick Iones, sponsored by Fusion Corp Construction Management Inc. and Ridley Funeral Home, pillars of the community since 1921. Joining me today for this 40th episode of Toast.
Woo! Really?
Where we kick out outlier jams. It's Rob Preuss.
Yeah!
And Bob Willette.
Yo.
Number 40, huh?
Number 40. Not
Wow.
all you two, though. That's Toast.
No,
right?
that's okay. That's all the toast.
That's
Okay,
all
I
the
see.
toast combined.
Okay.
But it's the big 4-0. You just said, Rob, you wanted to say something about Bob Willette, who is, I'm reading the notes here, single-handedly saving radio. Every time I tune in Indie 88, I hear Bob's wonderful voice. What were you going to say about Indie
I just
88?
was listening coming in and I heard two songs. You're going to laugh at this. To me, it was new. It's a band called Super Hog.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that what they're called?
No, Space Hog.
Space Hog.
Space Hog.
Space
Oh my
Hog.
You
god.
don't know Space Hog?
I'm not.
In the meantime?
In the meantime, it's a great
It's
track.
a great song. Sounded vaguely familiar.
Super Hog?
Yeah.
That's a porno name.
Is it? Okay.
Super Hog. That's what they called me. No,
Bob's got a
kidding.
Super Hog.
But Space Hog, it sounded like a 90s kind of a song.
It totally
But it is a 90s song.
It's a great song, though.
Yeah.
I never really...
You didn't know it. Yeah.
I don't know.
You missed out on a lot of them. We've talked
I
about
didn't
this.
miss
No.
it, but I just hear it in a new way
No.
because now it's old.
You
and I'm
have
like,
a
it sounds
90s
cool.
alt-rock blind spot.
You actually, yeah, we've talked about that.
Yeah, we
like,
have.
You were probably in the middle of
I was in the middle of Phantom of the Opera.
You were
and
doing
all.
Yeah,
You can't hide
Theater
it.
and shit. And then there's a band called Hot Hot Heat.
Yeah, Bandages, a couple of big ones. But
Are they Canadian?
Yeah, they're Canadian.
Oh, I
They're
like
not
this.
together
good
anymore,
night, good
but
night.
they're so good. Hot Hot Heat's so much
Yeah.
fun.
I heard
Can I
that
have a
one.
little bit more volume, please?
Bandages
Sorry.
was a big deal here.
Yeah,
Okay, so I
there we
won't
go.
know which
Thank
one
you.
Is that you?
They played Middle of Nowhere.
One more time. Hello, hello,
that
hello.
you?
No, that's not me.
That's me. So
Hello,
that's Bob.
hello, hello, hello,
That's
hello.
my headphone getting louder.
Hello, hello. There we go. That's me.
Hot
Hello.
Hot Heat,
Thank you.
Middle of
Are you
Nowhere.
too
Middle
loud
of
now,
Nowhere is
Rob?
great.
What?
Are you too loud now?
Oh, Jesus.
No.
He did it again.
I didn't mean to do it.
You know what? That's one thing. So I know by the coloring which
Yeah.
mic is which. So I don't have to
Yes.
think about it. But the headphones, you don't have I don't have a coloring system. It's a number thing, and I can never.
Sorry,
remember
I know.
numbers.
I'm high maintenance.
Well, you know what? You're going deaf.
Those are great
but
songs. Those are
They're
great.
You're
great
going
songs. Indie plays a good mix of songs.
Can I say something about Indie? Because I'm listening to Bob yesterday. I was in the car and I'm listening to Indie, and I hear Bob. I heard this very nice play when you start and Lana Gay ends.
Yes.
You two are do a nice. I always thought that's the next when the morning show gets picked up by Chum or whatever to replace Marilyn Dennis or whatever. The new Indie morning show is Bob and Lana.
Lana and I do a crossover,
That's cool.
as we call it
That's
in
the
the
word.
industry, and we call it the unhinged.
Clean your glasses.
Oh,
Well, if I give you my glasses, will you clean them
Yeah,
for me?
sure.
And then we'll let Bob finish his thought here.
we call it just the unhinged crossover because I've known Lana for years. Like the reason she's in radio is because the Humble and Fred show. She was a contestant on the Humble and Fred show.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So and her and I we were super close. She was going to be in our wedding party. She helped me pick out our wedding rings. Like that's how close Lana and I.
what he's looking
That's
for.
disgusting.
I know.
Anyway.
Firstly, I don't know. That might be. They were bought at the Dollarama for $1.25. They might have come that way.
Actually, that cleaner is probably more expensive than the glasses were. But yeah, so I'm 3 days into 11 days in a row right now on the station.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay, so I have an observation,
Okay,
which
please.
is the I don't know, not the term imaging or branding.
Yeah, the imaging. Yep.
So you are now calling, and I don't know when this started. You'll tell me, but modern music.
Toronto's modern music.
Right, but this is a big. So when did the change happen where you went from Toronto's alternative to modern music, which is different?
Last summer. It was before I was there.
I got to pay more attention.
Yeah, no, well, but the thing is, it was when Christopher Grossman, the owner, took over. One of the first things that they kind of identified is we gotta, they it's not that hard to figure out.
Well, the biggest thing I noticed is a lot more like Bruce Springsteen.
There is some Bruce Springsteen.
Like he's not alternative at all. And you'll hear Hungry Heart or whatever.
You'll never hear the word
dark.
alternative on our station anymore.
So meanwhile, I do a toggle. If you guys go to ads, and then I'm at 102.1 to hear, I go for the songs, and they're still calling themselves Toronto's real alternative.
Real alternative, yeah.
Because I think that real alternative was a response to your station.
Yes, I
going
think so.
with Toronto. Yes, it was clearly like a response. Like we're the real alternative, not those indie guys. But now your modern music.
Yep.
Which reminds me, because 102.1, I don't know, like 1990 era, was calling themselves modern rock.
That was modern rock, yeah.
So this is modern music. But it's not, it's clearly, because I hear like they do that thing here, modern music, and they say, we're playing old shit you like Hungry Heart.
That's
Space
right.
Hog.
Yeah, Space Hog, yeah.
Right.
That's not in the imaging, but yes, we are playing that, yeah.
But we're also playing the new shit.
Yes.
So I just think it's interesting that you're going with modern music, and then you'll tell us you're going to play Hungry Heart.
So I should. So here's the thing. That's why you have to couch it that way. You have to say. I shouldn't say you should never. You'll never hear the word alternative, because we do say, playing your classic alternatives or something like that, and then it'll play like a Pearl Jam song, like in a little clip, right? A little montage.
Yes.
And then it'll
that's
say.
What I'm talking about.
Plus,
I heard it a few times.
Yeah. Plus your all-time favorites, and it'll be a Fleetwood Mac song, and of course all the new music. That you need. Why? Dude, it's not that hard to figure out. Who are the two most listened to?
Boom and
CHFI. It's like, okay, we're going to try.
No, I'm saying.
Yeah.
So touting yourselves as modern music and then playing Hungry Heart is an interesting dichotomy.
I don't think people think that hard about it.
Rob, what do you think?
What about the fact that we call it Indie 88 and we don't play independent music?
I always interpret it as the owners are indie.
You're the only one. You're one of the few.
Because I was there for that when they just had the commercial-free stunt launch or whatever. And I was
what are words, man? What are words? It's all music.
We talking
there's
too
two,
much,
as
man?
Quincy
What?
Jones says, there's only. Oh no, it's Duke Ellington. There's only two kinds of music: good music and the rest.
Do you want to hit the post on this? It's got a great post because it pauses for a moment before it starts
What is
the
it?
words.
I played this song.
Yeah, that's why I'm playing it.
I
I
know.
want your response. I would hit the post if I had a clock clicking down like Bob does at Indie, because you get to see
Coming up next.
17,
I'm
16.
reinventing the hitting the post on my chefs, man. I
It's
just
fun, right?
I'm going old school.
See, I missed it because I didn't have the countdown. But this is Fashion Victim.
Oh, this is fashion. Oh, this is okay, go ahead. I know what we're gonna do.
Okay, so we'll do this and then you can respond. But since our last toast, a founding member of Rough Trade has passed away.
Yeah.
It wasn't FOTM Carol Pope. It was Kevin Staples. Kevin, A-N, not I-N.
That's right.
Rob, you must have been close with Kevin.
I wasn't really close. I only actually.
Come on, I just set you up. Just tell us how
I know.
close you were.
Well, no, I wasn't very close.
You didn't like him?
I loved him.
Jesus.
But I did one gig with Rough Trade in 2022.
Right.
So Carol
At the
asked me
Elmo?
at the Elmo Company.
Do you want to buy it with me?
We'll go in together.
Oh yeah.
But
Let's buy it.
Kevin Hearn was normally doing like second keyboard with them as well, so he
cool.
couldn't do the gig, so he asked me to fill in.
Oh, nice.
Which was I was like honored to do it. So I got to go out to Kevin's house in the East End and do a rehearsal with him and Tim Welsh, the
So
guitar player.
that's how you know Tim. Or did you know Tim already?
I knew Tim for ages.
Yeah. Images in Vogue and
the stuff.
National Velvet.
Yep. But I got to go to Kevin's house and we just sat in his living room.
Wow.
Kevin, Tim, and I, and we just ran through the songs.
so fun.
And he was like telling stories, and so I didn't really know him that well except for that one rehearsal and then the day of the gig. Those were really my.
Oh, wow.
I'm sure I met him way back in the 80s briefly as well. But he was such
Do you
a cool
remember
guy.
Elaine Loring?
Of course. His sister or cousin or
Cousin.
Yeah.
But she explained to me, we had a little chat as I offered my condolences. Kevin was like a brother, but was actually a cousin, but very close to the Lorings.
That's cool. Yeah, he was such a cool guy. And I think he'd been sick for a couple of years because even at that time, I think he was going through some chemo and some stuff.
Yeah, well, so great loss. Go ahead, Bob.
So I shit you not. The day, so I often.
Thanks for not shitting.
Yeah, I shit you not. I will sometimes during the. I probably shouldn't have led with that. I have all these vinyl. I remember I gave you some vinyl from the Q107 library. I have the first. It is High School Confidential album. The Fear. It's
What's the Fuhrer of the Fuhrer?
Yes.
The album is called Avoid Freud.
Avoid Freud. Right. Yeah. The day he passed away, I listened to that album before I found out he died.
Wow.
It's just the weirdest
So you
thing.
killed Kevin Staples.
I sat there in my grandfather's chair, which I do, with my sound system, and I listened to both sides.
Wow.
And
Really?
then I swear to God, and then like that night I found out he passed away.
Yeah, wow.
And I was like, nobody's gonna believe me, but I did it, and I didn't do it. I didn't put it on social media that I was listening to it. I just had a free hour.
Do you regret that now? Because you could be like mind blow. Look at the timestamp.
No, it's true. I know. I mean, that could have been my clout.
I heard on CBC Radio they interviewed a guy who in 2013 posted on Twitter about a grade 6 guard, a young girl who was playing basketball, and he was saying, remember, and it's funny, I can't remember the name as I say it, but remember this name. This name is going to be a superstar. And that young this is 2013 or something, she was just drafted first overall in the WNBA. Wow. And that got him on CBC. Was it what's the big show? As It Happens.
Oh, nice.
The show he was on.
That's cool.
So you got to document these things and timestamp them.
Yeah.
So we lost Kevin Staples, but I do want to also give my condolences. Shout out to Ridley Funeral Home. You gentlemen have your measuring tapes from Ridley Funeral Home.
And another
do you have like a room full of them now?
No.
Yeah, I'm using mine for an art project.
Pass them along. I keep adding, though. I customize them and I do the little hashtag SORFH.
My 9-year-old loves this.
Well, 9-year-olds love
Yeah,
things like
measuring
that. So
tapes,
measuring tapes. So and you don't mind if they lose it or break it because you'll be back here next month to get another one here. But I wanted
God
to say
willing.
Mark Nathan passed away. I did drop a special episode, but
I loved your chat with him. I mean, when it was first on, and because I didn't know all those great stories about him, but yeah. Sad.
So the main, and it's funny looking back now, is I only wanted to talk about his CanCon connections, and now I realize I should have had another chat or a longer chat to talk about all his amazing American music connections, like unbelievable. But I did take note that Maren Cadell,
Wow, the sweater.
the sweater, yeah. And I spoke to him after the passing of Mark Nathan to offer my condolences, and he's dealing with that. But also, of course, Concan? Yeah. Concan, Barry Harris.
That's Barry Harris. Yeah.
Right.
And Barry Harris as well, grappling, processing this. What a key role. But then, of course, Stephen Page remains a good friend of the late, great Mark Nathan. But it is Mark Nathan who introduces the Bare Naked Ladies to Seymour Stein at Sire Records. Oh. You got to listen to this, Bob. I just dropped a remembering Mark Nathan episode.
I'm working 6 days a week right now, and I have a child in competitive dance.
Is there a commute to your work?
Yeah, I'm listening to the news at that time, to be completely honest.
As it happens. Okay, So we lost a couple of great ones since our last visit together, but I'm going to play one of my favorite, speaking of Concan, I'm going to play one of my favorite CanCon songs. But forget the fact that it's CanCon. I just fucking love this song. And I just did an episode with a woman from Winnipeg about mini pops. We'll get back to that, Rob.
Oh, yeah.
The K-Tel episode.
It was so
amazing.
good.
But she remembers seeing these guys in the Winnipeg clubs in the mid-90s, early 90s. What a song. Bob, do you want to pick it up from here?
I was going to say, I asked to play it, so.
This is a Bob jam.
Yeah, I just, because he always does this, right? It's like, here's something I thought
do
about.
it again in a minute.
Yeah, so I have some thoughts on this. I just wanted to share with you. But I want to hear the opening first.
Lying in bedrooms easy. It's not like 5 years ago.
What vocals?
Lately you're over my body. Is that just a place that I want you to be? Look at the pictures you've gotten, and like signals from oncoming cars. We're covered in the cake from the last time. I know it sounds weird. We could.
You got to get the Highway to Sin on.
Yeah. You got to wait for Buckle Me In on the Highway to Sin.
Who's doing that background vocal? Is that Tizzard? Or is it Danny doing both?
I think it's Joey.
Oh, okay.
only I could ask one of these wonderful.
I know, right?
You know, Joey's the only one who hasn't been on Toronto Mike.
Oh.
I'll bring it back up for Buckle Me In on the Highway to Sin.
So I heard this the other day, and I was like, man, I talk about how much I love this song, and I saw Danny at the first bookie, it was at the Horseshoe, and I introduced myself as your friend. I used you.
Played at TMLX event. You were there.
Yeah, I've never. So that was the first time I met him.
We played together.
You opened for him.
Remember we did a song together
Yes.
as well? Yeah.
Here. We missed it. Okay,
Buckle Me In on the Highway. Yeah,
it's okay. People know it.
Anyways, and I heard it, and I had a revelation about this song.
Okay.
It's a tragically hip song. It is a tragic.
Jake Gold was managing both bands.
So listen to the. I don't know who produced it, but listen. Listen, like the drumming is it's very similar to Johnny Faye's. Think about the way it builds. It's like something from Day for Night, and but a little quieter. Just think about the vocal, the background vocals. That's Paul Langlois. The lyric, "Buckle Me In on the Highway to Sin." It's a Gord could write a lyric like that.
What year is this? What year was this?
This is 95, 96.
Yeah. There's things that happen in the air when music is made, right? There's common
I listened
occurrences.
to it. I'm like, this could be a tragically hip song.
Again, they do have the same manager. Like, that's a fact.
Yeah, but I'm just like, I listened to this outside of the.
So this is on In the Trees, which is amazing because it opens. Remember, the big first single was Boneyard Tree,
amazing,
right? Which is very. Is this an outlier jam?
This would be a stereo builds on the other ones, so I don't know.
Right, but this is their So by the way, our topic today is outlier jams. That one song that doesn't sound like the majority of the artists' catalog. This was released in 94.
94. I thought it was 94.
July 94.
So it was released the same year as Day for Night.
Yeah.
The producer is credited as Mr. Colson.
Mr. Colson.
What a weird
he was a
credit.
teacher. He was a social studies teacher.
Your socials. What a small. I was chatting with the people on the live stream before we started, live.torontomike.com, about what a small industry it is and how you'll say, hey, listen, watch this show, and then Tobias Vaughn will go, oh my God, I just looked it up. The creator was my roommate. Like, this is the country we live in.
I love that.
Your social sciences teacher produced In the Trees.
It's unbelievable.
Anyway, yeah. It's great.
Mr. Coulson. Okay, and also ready for another mind blow? Guess what studio this was recorded at?
Bathhouse?
Metalworks.
No, Bathhouse.
Metalworks.
Metalworks, yeah.
Gilmore was sitting there last week.
And you're wearing a Gilmore jersey.
My God. I can't take it.
Can I crack open a Great Lakes beer?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, everybody. I know it's
It's
morning.
10:25. I thought it was
It's
10:30.
5 o'clock somewhere. 3, 2. Okay, cheers to you guys.
Cheers.
Okay.
Happy Wednesday.
Can I just say, fuck this weather?
Oh my God.
I know.
It's unbelievable.
Spring's got to get their shit together.
I
I'm
drove
wearing
through
my
snow.
balaclava this morning.
You got the sunny, like, yellow
Yeah, I
can
know.
there.
The Sunnyside Session IPA.
Yeah.
So, Gord Miller was my last guest.
Mm-hmm.
And I mentioned Gilmore.
Yeah.
But it was on the heels of, because I talked about Rick Emmett and Wendell Clark being at Christy Pitts when I recorded, and they were on the same episode. And so we were coming off Wendell Clark's story. I love fucking Wendell Clark. And then I talk about, Rick Emmett. So coming off Rick Emmett, I bring up Gilmore. But of course, Gord Miller, the hockey guy, is still thinking Wendell Clark.
Right.
So yes, he thought I was talking about Dougie. But because Gilmore ties in perfectly
That's right.
with the duo that is Rick Emmett and
I caught
Wendell
that,
Clark.
and I never really thought of it until you guys were talking about it, like Gilmore.
But
Gilmore.
Metalworks, of course, is Gilmore's studio, and that's wow. Okay, I'm gonna Rob. Can I play what you sent me?
Not yet.
Okay,
But
set
we
it
can
up.
talk about it. Yeah. Because so I was driving last night. I was driving. Actually, I got into Burlington 11 and a half hours ago.
I drove all night.
But I was listening to the K-Tel episode.
It's a Roy Orbison song.
I know.
Cyndi Lauper, though, and Celine Dion covered
And
it.
did she do it as well? Celine Dion?
I think so.
Really? It's a great song.
Cyndi Lauper, right? So do we say that? Sorry, I was reading.
I love the K-Tel
I just said
episode.
Cyndi Lauper.
I was
Pay
reading.
attention.
I'm sorry. I was reading.
Hey,
What was her name? Kivas?
yeah, Kivas.
Kivas.
Yes.
It was
Samantha
a great,
Kivas.
Samantha Kivas.
Daughter of Philip Kivas, who created K-Tel.
That's right. He was born
in
19
Winnipeg.
He was born in 1929. I found all those
The year of
fun
your
facts.
birth.
That's right. But some of those old ads you guys were playing were cracking me up because that is my childhood. Those albums, I had like 3 K-Tels in the early 70s.
It's a nostalgia trip, this episode.
Yeah, it's so good. But then you were talking about the mini pops and the mini pop kids, and I'd never listened to them. Like, you know, our generational difference makes me not eligible to listen to the mini pops like as a child, but I appreciated the fact that they were everywhere and I thought it was super cool. But you know, my wife and I, we do a lot of teaching with public school kids in Queens.
Right.
And every once in a while I'll do a little recording of them because they're always up on the pop songs. Like we learn most of our
Chapel Roan and
like just whatever's like the hit
Sabrina
songs.
Carpenter.
The kids love it all. So we play this game
Olivia
at the end.
Rodrigo.
We play this games at the
I
end
have
of
a
our
9-year-old.
songs at the end of our classes called Sit and Sing, where we let the kids sing a pop song and then all the other kids try to guess what it is. And they all love this song. So I made a little recording and this is the kids. I play 2 chords and the kids go crazy.
I haven't heard it, so I'm going to hear it now for the first time.
This is us.
I'm going to guess it's that
this is
song with Bruno Mars that the
Die Like a Smile.
K-pop star
Die Like a Smile.
is
Die with a
on,
Smile.
Rosie or whatever.
No.
Okay, ready? Here we go.
Pink Pony Club.
These are grade 1
This
kids.
is the Bruno Mars K-pop song.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, you mean with Rosette Rose?
Rosie's from a K-pop group
yeah.
with the other gal who was in the White Lotus.
Oh, but they also love Die With a Smile, which is the Lady Gaga Bruno Mars song.
He's got 2 big jams.
That's right.
Going.
So anyways, this is I just hit
my daughter
record.
loves this song.
And it's crazy because I play 2 chords from like a modern song.
I guessed the song it was going to be. You're not.
You knew
just,
it.
Yeah.
I thought you meant Die
want
With a
some
Smile.
Credit for that.
I forgot because it's Bruno Mars on both of those songs.
Yeah.
So, anyways, the mini pops, all the kids are like that. Like I think they learn these songs in that way. So
No, absolutely. Bob, are you playing that song on indie?
No.
Tapata.
No, we are on the other radio stations that we're at Local Radio Lab on. So
We don't care about those.
No, not really.
I heard of them.
I'm afternoon drive on those shows.
Are you?
Yeah.
Wait, have you told us that?
Yeah. I mentioned it.
Rob, did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Can
And
you
actually-
tell us?
and actually
You're
we
live
just-
in Liberty Village on indie.
Yeah.
And is it live on the other stations or recorded in?
Sure, whatever you want.
But where are these stations? I think
There's one in Bolton. Oh no, we just bought one in Bolton. So we have we just literally he just got approved. By the way, if you want to buy a radio station, it's a good time. No, like really affordable.
We're buying the Alma combo.
Right? Yeah.
Chip in.
You make about anyways.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's the Local Radio Lab just closed a deal with they bought one of the mooses and
Moose Garpy.
that's still around, and it was only all in $260,000 for a radio
But is
station.
it expensive to maintain?
Well, that's the issue.
Because I often think I'm going to go buy a $130 million waterfront property, but then I got to pay the property tax.
Exactly.
Well, what with your $30 million you have in the bank, right?
Well, I was going to think at TMLX 18, which is June 26th from 6 to 9 p.m. at Great Lakes Brewery, I was going to pass around a hat.
Oh, that'll be good.
A big hat.
I just want to say that VP of No Sales is air checking us while we're on the air.
I read that.
Yeah. Bob is all about yes and Preuss is a no butt guy. Does he do it to you? Does he call out your crutches?
No, but
Have you heard FOTM cast? My brother was over for my daughter.
It's a little too meta for
birthday
me.
party. You know what? It's very meta. Do you listen, Rob?
I do. I love it.
Thank you.
I learned some things.
It's only for the real heads.
learned
It's not for
things.
the Willettes. It's not for the Willettes. It's for the Preusses. But my brother Steve said he listens to every episode, and he said, "Oh, you must love FOTM cast." He said it's 2 hours of you being filleted.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you did such a good job. Oh, yeah, Mike. Oh, yeah.
Cam, repeat what you were saying about that being the greatest interview in the history of the English language.
Oh, I should.
I didn't realize I'd been on that fun fact that I've been on 30 times or something.
You're right up
I
there, buddy.
hit a
Right
new-
after the Cam and Stu connect. It's
That's
you, I think.
weird.
Well, Bob's catching up too.
No,
Like,
Bob already has more than me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I think Bob's got more for sure.
You know what? It was a shorter drive for him.
Yeah, it's true.
You come in from the goddamn
Right.
States. I'm traversing the. I'm going to traverse the border in May.
Where are you going?
Pittsburgh.
Rob?
Really? Yeah.
You're going where? Pittsburgh?
Pittsburgh to see Pearl Jam.
Wow. Pittsburgh, see Pearl Jam.
Pittsburgh. It'll only be my 4th time seeing them in Pittsburgh. Wow. Actually, 3rd. No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rob, I need your ears on this song for like 30 seconds.
I'm on. Go.
Tell me if you hear a gong.
Volcanoes and the rocks and the trees.
Listen closely.
Sit down.
I would say that was gone.
So I think that's it too.
Yeah.
So I've been.
No, there's a gong right there.
Is that a gong?
That sounds like one of those bowls.
So, if you've been paying attention to Toronto Mike lately, there's been a lot of talk about the gong on Change of Heart Smile.
Yeah.
And the gong sort of produced, I suppose, by Bob Wiseman. But the gong was hit by the aforementioned Gil Moore. Not
nice.
Doug Gilmore, but
And
Gil
he
Moore.
has no memory of it.
And he has no memory of it at all. But of course, Ian Blurden was on, and who was Glenn Melcham? He was on Smile as well. So there was a whole stretch of Smile.
Yeah.
But so I went through every song on Smile, which I do enjoy. I'm going to see Change of Heart next week on Geary Ave at one of the garages there or whatever. But that's the closest to a gong I heard on the entire
For
album.
sure.
So I needed you to tell me, because I don't know the difference between a gong and a cymbal, and I don't know what's going on with music.
This is
that's
gongish.
a gong.
But yeah, I mean,
So that's the Gilmore contribution to Change of Heart Smile is what you just heard there.
That's cool.
So, okay. Now, you guys mind if I do a little thing before we get to the outlier jams?
do the thing.
Anything you want. It's your show.
But let me just say, I do have a palma pasta lasagna for you gentlemen. And I love palma pasta, and they make delicious lasagna. Just ask Peter Gross. And they will feed us at TMLX 18. And everybody listening should make their way to Great Lakes Brewery
June
on
26th?
June 26th from 6 to 9 p.m. Just hang, eat some palma pasta, get some GLB in ya. If you don't drink alcohol, they have a wonderful hop pop you can consume. No
Do they
alcohol.
have? Do they have hop water now?
Hop pop is
Hop
really
pop,
good.
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh,
you've never had it? I can get you
I've
one.
never had theirs.
Oh, yeah.
I love.
Okay, now that I know, because at 1 o'clock today, Troy will be here.
Oh,
He brings beer and
Nice.
a hop
So
pop.
the first one I had one from another brewery once. Somebody left it at my house, and I was like, "This is amazing."
He had the hop here last year, and it's really good.
I love hop water.
Yeah.
They call it hop pop. Yeah, amazing. Sorry to interrupt.
Hop pop.
So I'm going to do a little thing here. This is Mississippi John Hurt. I'm Toronto Mike, and this is Mississippi John Hurt. Maybe I got it from him. Do you recognize this tune, anybody?
Nope, no, not yet. It's blues track.
I'll play a more modern version in a moment here. I'm just going to let Mississippi John Hurt get a bit of time.
Put on skillet, put on the lid. Mama gonna cook some shortbread. Whole family loves shortbread.
Shortbread. Mama's little baby loves shortening.
Classic shortbread.
So this is the Beach Boys. And I was listening to a podcast, and they were talking about shortening. I think sometimes it's called shortening bread.
Yep.
An old standard.
It's an old folk song.
Old folk song,
Yeah.
and you heard like an earlier bluesy version, and now you hear this. And previously, I think on an episode of Pandemic Friday, although it might have been an early toast with Stu and Cam, I talked about how Brian Wilson was obsessed with a girl group song, Be My Baby by the Ronettes.
Yeah.
And he was absolutely obsessed. But in this podcast, they talked about how Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys, this was his favorite song of all time. It wasn't Be My Baby, although
That's
I
funny.
was led to believe. But
Shortening Bread?
too. Shortening Bread. This is
That's
his favorite
funny.
song.
Wow.
Alex Chilton from Big Star.
Yeah.
He talked about getting phone calls in the middle of the night from Brian Wilson.
Any
asking
relation to
him
Lance Chilton?
Shortening Bread. He said, "Hey," so
That's
he
so
said,
funny.
"You know, Alex, you have the perfect voice for Shortening Bread. We should record it." Mickey Dolenz from the Monkees. He was tripping on LSD with Brian Wilson and John Lennon. Okay,
It's a fun night.
They were talking about playing Shortening Bread on piano over and over again. Apparently, Elton John and Iggy Pop, these are some names you might have heard of.
Heard.
They talked about how Brian Wilson was leading the sing-along of Shortening Bread.
Weird. That's
and,
funny.
I've heard about
I think
this,
the
yeah.
quote from Iggy Pop, which is fucking amazing, is, "I got to get out of here, man. This guy is nuts." Okay? That's Iggy Pop, okay? The
Wow.
guy who cut himself on stage, okay?
Right.
Alice Cooper was sharing a story that Brian Wilson considered Shortening Bread to be the greatest song ever written.
Wow.
This is Alice Cooper's remark. I guess Cooper asked, why did Wilson love Shortening Bread so much? And then the quote from Brian Wilson is, I don't know. It's just the best song ever written. So there you go.
That's
and,
funny.
I mean, I could go on, but
What made you think about Short and Bread?
well, here's where I'm going.
where are
Here's
we
where I'm
going?
going. So here's
It's a long road,
I know
man.
it's a long fucking road, but people need to know about Short and Bread. Okay, so that was the Beach Boys version. What songs do you think of when you hear that Short and Bread? Do you think of any songs?
I just feel like a Raffi track. Like I think of
it's
a
like
kid's
a kid song.
All right,
Yeah,
here's
we
the-
used to sing it in public school.
Here's the song that I think of, and I want to hear if I'm out to lunch on this. Okay, I'm just gonna play a bit, and then I'll play this.
Well, you know what I think?
I want to hear some funky Dixieland pretty much. I recognize that sound right away.
Wow.
Yeah, it's Doobie Brothers. Blackwater. You're good, actually. That relation is close.
Oh.
You're funny.
I
Yeah.
Google it to say, oh, maybe everybody knows this shit, and I
Yeah.
couldn't find like anyone
No.
talking about this. And Short and
Yeah,
Bread.
I never thought of that.
Short and Bread.
Totally.
See, I think biscuits in the oven, going to watch them rise. Biscuits in the oven, going to watch them rise. From Raffi?
Well, maybe that is based
might
on
be,
Short and
yeah.
Bread. 'Cause Short and Bread is
Yeah, it might be related.
This was on one of my KTEL records, I do believe.
I still have so many KTEL records.
I love
and
KTEL
I have the first 3 mini pops.
Wow.
I
Original.
played some of my
original
favorite
pressing.
mini pops. Okay.
9 to 5 was great.
Wow.
Sorry, this one.
You got to get to the end of the song.
Well,
That's
here's what
the
I'll
magic
do.
is.
I won't
Yeah.
make people listen to the whole song because we have time restraints, but I'm going to play that part. Ready?
Yeah.
Here's the a cappella part. Ready?
I wanna hear. I love it. Some fun. I love this when I was a kid.
Some funky Dixieland, pretty mama, come and take me by the hand.
More reverb head.
Take me by the hand, pretty
By the way, as a kid, I fucking love this too. This song.
I like to hear some funky Dixieland, pretty mama, come and take me by
The band comes back in.
Take me by the hand, pretty mama, come and dance with your daddy all night long. I like to hear some funky Dixieland, pretty mama, come and
So in Black Water by the Doobie Brothers, and of course this is the Southern Rock Doobie Brothers, not the Stu Stone, Michael McDonald yacht rock version with the Doobie Bounce. Okay?
I have a Doobie Brothers
prefer
connection.
this version of the Doobie.
Oh, let's hear it.
Let's hear it.
Ted Templeman, the producer, did our Honeymoon Suite album.
Nice.
Yeah, he produced our the third Honeymoon Suite album.
And it's, Ted Templeton produced
Templeman.
did what? Templeman?
He did every Doobie Brothers album.
Every Doobie
He
Brothers.
did all the Van Halen albums.
So he did both pre and post.
Both.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, crazy, right?
So Black Water, which
Yeah.
is what I think of when I hear Short and Bread.
That's so funny. That's a really good connection.
I was hearing. So this is interesting. So you heard that a cappella part that I just played,
wanna
which
hear
is
some
everybody I think digs that. I don't know, Bob. Do you dig the a cappella?
I have
Black Water?
a
Dig me by the hand.
huge blind spot here.
Really?
No, okay,
I
no
don't
Southern Rock for Bob.
You're too young.
But
Nothing.
here's a song which I only discovered this song from The Simpsons because they played it on The Simpsons. So I know, so a lot of songs my daughter's discovering from The Simpsons. I discovered this song from The Simpsons. I'm sure Rob Preuss is fluent in this song, but I'm going to play a bit of it and tell
Oh
you
my
a fun
God, you're
fact.
gonna laugh your head off. This is Ted Templeman sing. Is this Harper's Bazaar?
This is 59th Street Bridge song.
This is Doobie
Stealing-
Brothers producer Ted Templeman, lead singer.
Wow.
Bob, have you ever heard this song?
Yes, I know this.
So I heard
Feeling groovy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
Is
that.
this Harper's Bazaar?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is
Ted Templeman.
this is band?
He was the lead singer in this group in the '60s, and then he became one of the heads.
Did he do Van Halen?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know this. He's in the Yacht Rock Dog too.
Yeah.
Cool. And which Honeymoon Suite album was it?
The one I did, Racing After Midnight, it's
Nice.
called.
So Mr. Burns sings a parody of this anyway. So I'm gonna skip ahead now. Again, we're gonna get cooking here.
This is quite
So
the stream
Feeling
of
Groovy.
consciousness here.
Here's
I know.
Yeah, but this is.
No, I like it. I like it.
So I go on bike rides every day.
You do?
And I listen to stuff, and then I think about stuff, and then I go, "Hey, G Word, take a note." And then because G Word is a
Who's G Word?
It's a big
friend of
California
his.
tech company. Okay?
Really?
But if I say it,
Alphabet.
this guy here is
Oh,
gonna
I
wake
see.
up and
I see.
fucking do it.
Oh.
Okay. So hey, G Word, take a note, and then it saves my note that I say.
Yeah.
Gets saved to Google Keep.
I didn't know you can do
And then the next you go
Yeah,
to Google
I do the
Keep.
same
Okay.
thing.
Google Keep is their notes thing or whatever, stupid name, but whatever. So here's the a cappella part of that song, which is called 59th Street Bridge song.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's really a cappella.
I want to hear some funky Dixie.
Ah, see?
Mom's gonna make a little shout.
That's classical right
It's
there.
so cool.
Yeah.
Their music is crazy. Oh, bassoon.
Is that I was going to say, is it an oboe?
That was a bassoon.
Cool fucking song. Okay, so it turns out that a cappella part we just played was directly influenced by the a cappella part in the Doobie Brothers' Black Water. No Black Water, no 59th Street Bridge song.
Yeah, but they're backwards. This came first.
I don't think so.
Yeah. This is
Okay,
like 67 or 68, and then the Doobie Brothers is 73.
Okay, hold on.
But
Maybe
it
it's
could be
the opposite.
reverse. It could be the opposite. Because
Hold
if
on.
Ted Templeman is singing on this, he would have taken that idea and used it for the Doobie Brothers.
Could be opposite. I've been known to get
Yeah.
things backwards
No,
here, but we're going to get this clarified here. Geez, that can't be true. So, 59th Street Bridge song, which of course is a Simon and Garfunkel song.
Yeah.
So, when did that version come out? We're doing this real time. So the Simon and Garfunkel version is 66, okay? But the version with the a cappella that was directly influenced by Black Water is, of course, Harper's Bazaar 1967 version.
Yeah.
And
Doobie Brothers is 73.
so it's the opposite.
It's
the
opposite.
Okay. So,
But that's a cool connection.
so they're directly very kind of. So other than the fact I'm 180 degrees wrong.
no, but they're related though. That doesn't matter.
See, I like this guy because he helps you out. I fuck up and
You're not
say,
fucking
say
up.
me.
You just reverse.
One last thing here. That was
Okay.
a Google note I took, and then we're going to get to outlier jams.
Shh, don't
'cause
say
we all
that
love
word.
Mind blows. I said,
No,
I
he
know,
didn't.
but I have to say hey and then G word. Okay, I don't see how this works. Or okay G word. There's the two ways
Really?
to get it to wake up there. Okay, so. I shared this with, I think it was Chef Jordan Wagman who came over and I gave him a sneak peek of this. But I'm going to play a song. You might have heard of this song before.
Yeah, so it's exactly.
At night.
Yeah, it's same song.
Same song.
Okay. So this comes first. That's an important. Now I got this right, not
yeah.
backwards.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. This comes first.
Yeah.
But every time that thing fucking comes
Yeah.
on the radio, or
Sure. Yeah, it's identical.
Come on, it's hilarious.
Yeah, you didn't just notice that,
No,
did
no,
you?
no.
Oh, okay.
I'm now just sharing.
Oh, okay.
Chef
Oh.
Jordan Wagman
We
said he,
could do-
he never connected those dots.
Really?
Oh.
Oh.
Somebody is discovering this for
He's
the
all
first
about
time.
food. That's
we
why.
could do like an in the round thing of us, like, you know, like you play this song and you're like, oh, this sounds like this, and then we could totally do that.
That could be the whole 2 hours.
Yeah.
That could be 8 hours.
VP of Sales
Oh, you can
says
just keep going.
the next FOTM cast, he says, is going to be 3 hours of Cam and Tyler shitting on me.
Shitting all over you, yeah.
So thank you, Steve, for the observation. He goes, your brother is very rude. I want to say hi to some people on the live stream. Give you guys a couple of gifts, and then we're going to hit Outlier Jam.
Yeah.
Moose Grumpy's here. What's that?
I just wanted to say, because you've been mentioning your Google and the notes and stuff.
Yeah.
I really want. I think we got to talk about the AI world a little bit at some point, and how I'm using it quite a bit right now, and I'm finding it really helpful in a lot of
totally
ways.
helpful.
And I have some samples of things.
Well, it depends how you use it.
Yeah.
Like you use it for research purposes?
No, I'm gonna use it as a co-host on my show.
Wow.
Yeah, I have no interest in hearing
Wow.
your co-host of AI.
With a
No, but
voice?
it's gonna
With a
be
voice?
funny.
Wow.
It's funny.
I don't think anything's funny about that, Bob Willette.
All right,
It's
fine.
like your ultimate improv
It's not
co-host.
not as a co-host, just as a bit, like an extra. Yeah, don't worry. I
But
literally
like a 30, 45 second
I
bit.
found myself last night in between songs. I'm going back and forth on ChatGPT,
Yeah.
and I'm riffing with ChatGPT, and
Wow.
it's not unfunny.
Oh, and I see now in my notes. So I took notes
Yeah.
on the shortening thing. Makes me think about Black Water. Black Water stole that a cappella
see?
trick from. So I actually in my notes know Harper's Bazaar versions first.
Yeah.
And then Black Water heard that and said, we're going to steal that for Black Water.
Yep.
Doobie Brothers heard that and then
That's
stole
amazing.
it. So I see my notes got it right. So thank you, notes here.
Ha!
Okay.
Thank God you wrote it down.
And I have a little mind blow. I was going to share this after I shared the Brian Wilson's favorite song was Shortening Bread. Do you know that Brian Wilson is not on Kokomo?
Yes.
No, yeah, I knew that.
Yeah.
But everybody knows that. But did you know it's because he says he wasn't told it was being recorded?
No,
Like
really?
nobody even informed Brian Wilson they were recording Kokomo. Mike Love did that.
I don't know how much he was even in the band at that point.
Yeah,
in
he was-
88.
yeah.
But it is interesting
Yeah,
that
yeah.
like he wasn't invited. He didn't
Funny.
know it was even happening.
Wow.
So there you go. All right, I'm going to give you guys a great gift if you don't mind. I'm going to ask you a question though, Rob.
Yeah.
Did the Spoons ever play Regina?
Yes. I also played Regina with Phantom of the Opera. One of the last cities I did on the tour was we were in Regina.
Was that with Jeff from
With Jeff Hislop from Today's Special.
From Today's Special?
And
Wow.
yeah, he was an amazing Phantom.
It's the most Canadian day ever.
Oh my God, yeah. But it's funny because when you guys were talking about the KTEL, when you were talking last night, when I was listening last night, and you talked about Regina.
Yeah, it was yesterday.
And it was one of the last cities I did on the Phantom tour. And I had the greatest rental car there from this company called AutoHost, and it was like a giant old like Chevy thing.
Nice.
With one of those Radio Shack horns where you could program the horn to like play songs and stuff. Yeah. But like a little digital numeric keypad.
Is that racist, that song now?
I don't know what song that was.
The Dixie? No. Right? The Dixie Chicks are the chicks.
It's what the General Lee
doesn't
used
have
to.
the,
yeah.
I have a whole bunch of General Lees in my house still, like with the car, because I loved Dukes of Hazzard when I was a kid.
Yeah. But Regina was a great town. I loved it. Like I mean, it was a little bit of a small town, but a beautiful theater, and it was such a cool place.
Well, Al Grego went to Regina.
With his Yes We Are Open,
because season 8 is dropping now, and the most recent episode features Ashley Donald. She's the owner of Basket Cases, a prominent gift basket store in Regina. Ooh. She shares her inspiring journey of buying and running the business, discussing her origins, struggles, and future outlook. I have for you two gentlemen from Monaris
a free trip to Regina, Saskatchewan. Yeah! All expenses paid trip.
A wireless speaker so you can listen to Al Grego's beautiful voice on Yes We Are Open.
Thank you. Love it.
Amazing. And I have a new sponsor.
I thought he was going to give us a gift basket. He's talking about all these gift baskets. I'm like, oh, he's got a gift basket for us.
Which one of you two has the dirtiest car?
Well, my car. I was in a car accident 3 weeks ago.
Oh, geez.
And they just decided the car's not a write-off. My airbag went off.
Wow.
Yeah, it was not good.
Well, sorry to hear that.
Yep. My rental right now is awesome. But and I've been lucky me. I was found at fault too, so that was good.
Really?
Yeah. Anyways, so my car is dirty,
Wow.
but
So
but actually,
Bob's got the dirtiest car.
No. But your car, it's a
goes
beater.
through- yeah.
It's a good one. I like your car.
It's my mom's old car.
Yeah.
It goes through fog and
I like
snow
it.
and sleet and
I like.
dirt.
I think he.
Okay, so Rob does more clicks because he's got to come in from
that's right.
Queens or whatever.
That's
But
true.
okay, so this is no shitting you because I got some to use. And I mean, if you want a clean car that requires as little effort as possible. Well, there's more than that, eh? There's a bucket. I didn't have room on the table for it.
Really?
Do you see a bucket?
We
Maybe
get a
it's
gift
beyond the-
bucket?
So there's a massive kit from Silver Wax where Rob Preuss can easily clean his car. Wow. Silver Wax makes pro-grade auto care and cleaning technology easy for everyone to use. There's kits for beginners and experts or professionals. This is important.
Just a sample of the kit.
I was going to say,
Well, these
now,
two plus the bucket is the one of the robust kits.
Wow.
Oh,
We
okay.
get that?
You're getting it.
No way.
You're getting it because
Can I get the
everybody
next one?
Well, you know
after I
what?
get my car back.
You know
we
what?
both get them.
No.
I think I'll get. No, you know what? I'm going to talk to the good people at Silver Wax. This is a
Yeah.
proud Canadian company. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm only dealing with proud Canadian companies right now.
Yeah, good.
I will make sure.
What about
you
a
both leave
Canadian
here.
company that's ashamed? Can we do a Canadian company that just feels ashamed? I don't know. You said only proud Canadian companies.
Proudly Canadian.
I'm sure there's a Canadian company that hides it, like drapes themselves.
No,
in the red,
not
white, and blue.
ashamed. No, not ashamed that they're Canadian. Ashamed about something even darker.
Okay. Well,
Sorry.
This is important. The promo code to use at
Oh, yeah. Sorry, go
silverwax.ca, and it's important you use this promo code because you save 10%, and it lets Silverwax know it kicks ass to fuel the real talk on Toronto Mike. The promo code is Toronto Mike 10. So go to silverwax.ca, buy something, use the promo code Toronto Mike.10. Sorry, Toronto Mike 10. You get 10% off if you do that. But I will get a kit. You'll leave here today with a kit, each of you.
cool.
Oh, yeah, thank you. That's great.
Are you
That's
kidding
awesome.
me? You need a clean card too.
I have a
especially
gift
after
for-
that
I have a gift
I
for
have
you.
no idea what it's going to
What
look
is
like.
what's the gift for me?
So I found this in my backpack and I bought it a couple of months ago, and it's a cherry blossom.
Oh my God! Is it? So can I eat it or
Well,
do I
yeah,
have to save
so
it
here's
like
the
a
thing.
museum piece?
Because they're not going to be made anymore, I thought maybe you just wanted to add it to the museum over there. Like,
Well,
maybe
he'll
I'll
eat
add-
it.
you know,
He's going to keep the box.
well,
the
you
box.
could choose to eat it or not, because
How can I not? I've never had a cherry blossom.
All right.
Like
What?
yeah, I know, never had a cherry blossom in
All
my
right.
life.
I mean, I'm not a fan, but what?
but you have, how many cherry blossoms have you consumed, Bob? Willette,
Not
in
that
your
many.
life?
My mom loved them.
yeah, see, it's a different
Yeah,
generation.
my
of thing,
mom
for
loved
He's
them.
probably had one.
Yeah, no, probably. Yeah, you're probably right.
When I was a
He's
kid, I
one ahead. I'm
loved
going to
them.
tie him up.
And then
here.
I was like, nah, I don't care for it.
But I thought that because just hold on to the box anyways. Even if you choose to eat it or not eat it, it'll taste the same in 10 years. Like, that's the thing. Like,
Oh, so you're saying they're just
Preserve it.
shelf stable
that's right.
is the word.
Like a
right?
McDonald's hamburger. Yeah.
Thank you, Rob Preuss, for the cherry blossom. That's a fair trade. A cherry blossom, a robust silver wax kit.
I have something else to offer to you if you would like this. And I'll tell you what inspired me. Yesterday when I was driving, I listened to Rick Rubin, the producer, has a great podcast called
Never heard of him.
Tetragrammaton.
Okay.
And he interviews lots of really interesting people. And the biggest problem I have with his show is that he has sponsors and he has commercials that sound so good that I can't turn them off. What he does is like, I think he makes the commercials.
Is it a live read or is it like his voice? But
it's not even his voice. What it sounds like is like an old commercial from like the 1940s or 50s with good old fashioned music and stuff.
Okay.
And I thought, man, I don't want to fast forward through these because I'm.
Should I do that on Toronto Mike?
Yes. What I was going to say is, I'd love to make some music for you, like something that sounds kind of cool to play underneath your.
Speaking
promos.
of music, we have to set some that the people know.
I know.
We promised last host that the next host, which is today, right now, happening as we speak, we were gonna unveil a new closing theme of Toronto Mike, and you're here to apologize to everybody.
I am here to apologize. It's not ready.
How much was your pay for it?
He's getting ready for this. He's getting a large lasagna from Palmapasa. He's getting fresh craft beer from Great Lakes Brewery.
Yeah.
He's getting a speaker from Moneris. He's getting a measuring tape from Ridley Funeral
car cleaning
and a
kit.
robust silver wax car cleaning for interior and exterior.
What more could I ask for?
We should have a drinking game now with the word robust.
That's right. That's right.
It's only 20.
But I've just a few days ago I finished up this. I've been working on this film score for the National Slash documentary.
Oh wait! Oh
which
my
is
gosh!
super cool.
Amazing. Good for you.
That is super cool.
Yeah. So the closing theme version 2 is a work in progress. But I think I'm going to have it for you for next week because I was really hoping I could get it.
Do you want to unveil it with you here? Like,
no, I don't care about
that.
No. I'd be happy to just send it to you for sure because you tested it out with I forget who the guest was. It was Andy Kim, I believe.
It's got to be somebody.
Remember, we went through a couple of variations before we settled on it,
right?
And I think Andy.
I
Kim,
wasn't happy.
No, I know. We refined it.
You're hard to work with.
Andy Kim was one of your guinea pigs. But I'd also like to try some advertising music for you to play. So you could test it and see what you think.
You know what? You had me at hello.
Okay, I'll give you a couple of pieces of instrumental music that you can just play underneath because I love when you sort of do your little sponsor bit.
I need to hear what Rick Rubin's doing, and I need to.
His show is so good.
I need to hear what you're thinking of because one of the things that I think how podcasts can be better than radio is that it doesn't sound like we're going to spots.
Yes.
Right? So I'm worried about the music.
This is my problem. The Humble and Fred show, which at one time the great Bob Willette produced.
Yeah.
Now
the great Mike
Toronto Mike, the great CNN Mike is trying to fill those big shoes, okay? But what Howard does is I think he just thinks he's on radio still. He starts a song and then they do 2 live reads under the song.
Yeah.
Because I carve these out to send to the sponsor. Yeah. And I always know where to find them because the music's like my cue, but I didn't ask for this. And I always think, this is sort of like might as well be pre-recorded because they read a script over the music. It's not like they're having an organic conversation about Tim Niblett or the Chambers Plan or Kelsey's or whatever.
Right.
So I always think so. That's to Bob's point. I will do the music bed.
I'll try it out.
But it is sort of an audio cue for the listenership to skip.
Yep. To hit 10 seconds forward, 10 seconds forward.
But I'm telling you,
I do this because ongoing history of new music. Well, the worst offender is the Terry O'Reilly podcast, Under the Influence.
Yeah.
Where I know there's 4 minutes off the top that I skip completely. But there's
4 minutes?
Yeah.
What is it, a stop set? Like a radio station?
It's 4 minutes of pre-recorded bullshit. Like, I hate it. I barely can listen to it. But then in the middle, there's 2 mid-rolls.
Wow.
It's only a half-an-hour show. So I find it excessive to do 2 mid-rolls. And in the 2 mid-rolls, you get a couple of minutes each or whatever, more pre-recorded. And, of course, I don't think anyone listens to any post-roll ads.
Yeah.
Like, who the hell is doing that?
Well, I'm telling you, the Rick Rubin style is unbelievable because they sound like the way you were playing those KTEL ads yesterday. It's like that. Like they're new ads for these companies, but they sound like old things, and you want it's so.
So it's creative, is what it is.
It's really creative.
Well, that's all
I don't know if he
radio needs to bring some creativity.
Yeah, the problem is most of the people have left.
Right.
Most of the creative people
still
have
there.
left. I'm still there. I'm the only one. No, that's not true.
It's you and Lana Gay.
No, there's lots of creative people where I am. I'm very lucky, but we've lost a lot of great minds. You know, and that creates. And the other part is with the corporate ownership. Generally speaking, we haven't been that kind of creativity wasn't encouraged.
Right.
And now where I am, I can
because
show you.
You're on an smaller.
I can show you an email from the owner of the company. I sent him something that was a little bit wacky that I did, and he said, more of this, talk more, talk whenever you want.
Wow.
He goes, I want you.
Okay, because I heard you yesterday in Atlanta Gay doing the crossover, and she basically is like, okay, we got to move on, Bob. Like, and I was thinking, you're going to the music where I can get it on demand, anything, an unprogrammable iPod. And I'm thinking, as just some idiot in his basement who's got a podcast, I'm thinking, this is the shit I can't get from Spotify.
That's right.
Why are you rushing Bob out from this crossover, which is the almost, and to get to the song that you just play every couple hours anyway.
Well, and that's the balance, right? Like, I mean, it's, the bricks and the mortar of radio, what it is. And I'll actually, next time I come, I'll bring you a sample of one of the things that I'm literally trying to fuck things up at night.
I want to hear the AI co-host.
I'm literally trying to have I know what I did. You know the band the Mono Whales, who you love?
Of course.
So I come off the end of it and I was like, hey, every time I play Mono Whales, I think of got the mono, got the mono. What's that? Do you remember that?
Of course I do.
Yeah, it's
Cocking.
It's a cock, and I avoided I avoided the cock joke. I said,
and the Regina joke.
We did, and so I said, I got to find the spot, and I said because the people started texting right away. Oh my god, I haven't thought about that in ages.
That's funny.
I know we got to get to it. We got to get back to the actual show. But then I was playing Black by Pearl Jam, and out of the end where it goes, I was mixing in, got the mono, got the mono, and you don't fuck with the music on radio.
Yeah,
well,
you
guess
should.
what? You do now.
You should.
Because you know what? We got to do something
more
different.
fucking with. You know what? I want to hear, as you play Black, I want to hear Bob Willette give us fun facts.
Yes, of course.
About Pearl Jam and Black.
So, but the
Pop-up radio.
The owner of the company literally said, "This is great. Do more."
Wow.
The owner of a lonely heart. Okay. Jeremy Hopkin, you know J-Ho? He comes on every quarter. He's
a well-dressed man.
Yes.
The official Toronto historian of Toronto. You could borrow him on Indie 88. I won't be offended.
No, that'd be cool. I also want to talk about, because he the hats that he
Right.
the like barbershop quartet style.
He's dashing. But he wrote in, I like Mike's method of delivering ads far better. Funny sometimes, which works so much better. So Jeremy likes the live ad reads because you never know where it's going to go with the guest.
Wait till you hear live ad reads with music.
Okay, we're going to try it. I'll do anything. Okay.
I've got some plans for you.
Moose Grumpy, big fan of Chat GPT. She's playing with it as she watches us. And East York Johns, I think this happened yesterday with my K-Tel episode, but Silver Wax. But wait, there's more.
Order before midnight tonight and get these free gifts.
Tobias Vaughn, big fan of Nash the Slash. He's very excited that you are part of that.
It's so cool. It's going to be great.
Al Grego's on the live stream. He thinks we're talking about outlier jams now. We're there now.
Yeah, we're almost
He
there.
brings up one that I don't think we're kicking out today, but he thinks Under the Bridge is an outlier for Red Hot Chili Peppers.
I would agree, I guess, but it's also their biggest hit, right?
That's how ballads work, though.
Well, think about everything they released before that, like Mother's Milk and Catholic Schoolgirls Rule. Like, to come out with that, and like that changed that band forever.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah. But there's another band we're not kicking out, but we should just, for some CanCon, we should talk about One Thing by
Finger 11. Yeah, I had that on my list, but I didn't want to do it.
Okay. But now is the time for Outlier Jams.
Let's do it.
Outlier Jams brought to you by recyclemyelectronics.ca. That's where you go if you have old electronics, old devices, old cables. You don't throw it in the garbage. You go to recyclemyelectronics.ca, put in your postal code. This won't work in Queens, but it'll work for your mom in Burlington.
Yeah.
And find out where to drop it off to be properly recycled. Any words before your first Outlier Jam? Rob Preuss of Spoons fame.
Nope. I think this was the first song at the top of my head because they're all kind of obvious to me, but yeah.
Men, you're vintage in this band.
I got this one first to get it out of the way for you because I know you don't like the band.
Well, you know.
If I hear you calling,
I can't stand this band either. I know that like people love them. Like Mike McCready
of his vintage.
No, Mike McCready of Pearl Jam loves Kiss.
But how old is Mike McCready?
Yep, he's my age.
Yeah. You have to be a teenager when these guys play.
Yeah. Or younger.
Right.
Yes,
Well,
8-year-olds
You're a
love
prodigy, Rob. You were always a teenager.
No, 8-year-olds did. This is
Definitely an Outlier Jam.
what can I do?
Produced by good Canadian Bob Ezrin.
What can
So is this? Who's doing the vocals?
This is the drummer, Peter Criss.
This is Peter Criss doing the vocals.
So in the concert, the coolest thing of all, because not only is the bombastic awesomeness of a Kiss concert, lights and shit moving in, all
And
flames
fire
and whatever.
and,
In like 3/4 through the show, they'd bring it all down. Peter Criss they'd bring out a stool. Peter Criss would come out to the front of the stage. They'd play the tape. It was just a track.
It was a track.
And he'd sit there and sing the song. Yeah,
In full...
Oh yes, of
cat
course.
guy.
He'd come up, he'd come up from behind the kit and sing this song.
So gimmicky and shticky, this
Man,
makeup
we
bullshit.
loved it.
It was all...
Come on now.
I mean,
you had to be there.
But look, I liked wrestling, so it's fine.
Also,
I'm okay with
Alice
that.
Cooper,
It's
too.
wrestling for rock
Alice
musicians.
Cooper, I saw last summer, and he's still at 75.
70-something, yeah.
Yeah, like
For
he
sure.
still has it.
Yeah.
He killed it. It was amazing.
So
And Guar, your favorite band, right, Ron?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I love them. But it taps into something deeper and like really
Right.
organic when you have makeup on, and it's like the old Japanese theater called kabuki, where they would wear the
Kabuki
white
theater,
makeup.
yeah, of course,
That's
yeah.
where Kiss got all that shit from, right? So when you have a mask
Appropriation, Ron.
on, what?
That's cultural appropriation.
No, I don't care.
And that wasn't then.
No, it's not.
And it's not now
No,
either.
no.
It's not.
But
They're
this
not
was-
dri-
Tell
they're
that
not
to
dressed
Gwen Stefani put a dot on her forehead.
Well, that's different. These guys, they didn't dress like kabuki girls, or
That's right.
or like.
That's right. They did sing Christine 16, which was inappropriate last show.
that was a problematic jam.
That was problematic, but Beth is a beautiful song, and so
So you like the song?
I love the song, and of
You know
course
what? It's a nice song.
Yeah. It's an outlier, of course, but they were already well known because they had Rock and Roll All Night was already a hit.
Was it? Okay.
But this, a ballad is like a safe hit for a lot of rock and roll bands,
Yep.
especially in the 70s, right?
Yep.
It was a given. Alice Cooper as well. He had some real awkward jams as well.
Just one popped in my head. Def Leppard's Love Bites.
Love Bites.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Which
Sure,
was
sure.
probably
Watch
their
out.
biggest fucking hit.
Right.
if you
Nah,
dive
I
into
think
that.
Pour
Well,
Some
we got to
Sugar
go into
on
that.
Me.
I don't know. Maybe the
So
big.
the theme, so what I decided to do instead of a lot of
Mind blows.
mind blows is I just thought I'd flip on the B side of each single because it's cool to hear, because somebody might hear Beth and go, some mom might go, hey, this is really cool, like I love this song, but then the B side you flip it over and this is what you get.
Oh, that was smarter than what I did. Okay. Now, see, this doesn't suck. Until he starts singing. There it is. Now it sucks.
But this is the best Kiss song, right?
They're all
This
great.
and I want to rock and roll all night and party every day are the
Yeah.
only two that I think.
You like this one, really?
Yeah, I like this one.
Listen to this bass line. Wait,
No, I like this. What is this?
it's called Detroit Rock City.
Oh, this is okay. This was the B-side, the best?
How smart are they, though?
Oh, that's good.
It's a fun fact for me that I used to play both of the songs in my band when I was 11.
Nice.
I had an old recording I was going to bring. I was like, it's too much. Like, we would play all the songs, and we love Kiss. Our band was called Black Diamond, which was
Right.
a Kiss song.
Yes.
So-
I've seen Pearl Jam enough times that McCready will often we'll cover. They did Black Diamond actually with Matt Cameron doing the vocals.
Did they really?
The drummer. Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so fun.
I feel like Trans Canada Highwaymen, those guys of that
Oh, yeah.
age,
They would
their
love
Kiss.
Yeah.
There's actually right now there's a conversation on Billy Corgan's having
he's got a new podcast.
Yeah, his podcast is really good. So Billy Corgan talking to Tom Morello.
Yes. I was going to tell you just right now about Tom Morello.
Yeah.
Well, I went
What?
to the induction
You're
ceremony.
going to tell me about Tom Morello?
About him
Oh, okay.
inducting Kiss into the Rock and Roll Hall
Yes,
of Fame.
yeah.
And I was there. They did it in Brooklyn
wow.
in like 2014
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
And his induction was so fantastic. He's my generation too.
Right,
When he
yes.
talks about Kiss and what it meant to us,
Yes.
you get it.
Do you know he's friends with Tim Welch?
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Tim
yeah.
needs to come on. I'm
We
gonna
need
hook
to.
Tim-
I've asked Tim to come on. He lives just in East York. I worked with him for years at the
Have
Phoenix.
you?
I loved him. He's one of
Right.
my favorite people. He won't come on my podcast.
He won't?
He doesn't. He's like nobody wants to hear.
I'm
about
working
him.
on Toronto.
He's one of those
I'm working
guys.
on CNN Mike with
Yeah.
Tim.
Tobias Vaughn says this is the best Kiss song.
I don't mind
They're
this
all
at all.
good.
And East York John says Hard Luck Woman
Oh,
is
yeah.
also a very excellent
It's sort of an outlier
Kiss
for
jam.
sure because Peter Criss sang that one as well, and that was more of like a country song.
J-Ho says kids love Kiss. He made a Kiss comic book printed with real Kiss blood in the ink.
They published that in '77. Yeah, it was
See
amazing.
a psychiatrist.
Yeah.
J-Ho.
That's amazing. I had something else. That's gone now.
Oh, VP of Sales named his daughter Beth, but wants me to know that he didn't name his daughter after this song.
That's what he
I mean,
says.
the song Beth, not this song. That'd be funny. I named my kid Detroit after this song. Okay, so
Did you ever see the movie Detroit Rock City? It's
the
really
guy from
fun.
Terminator 2.
Yes, that's right. It's a good film. It's really fun.
I think he had a tough life, actually. I feel like he's one of those child stars that didn't turn out as
Oh,
good
the kid
as
who played
Stu
from
Stone.
C2. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Eddie Furlong.
Eddie Furlong. That's right.
I got to look into how Eddie's doing. He's still with us, at least, which is half the battle right there. Okay, well, good start. Beth from Kiss is an outlier jam.
Nice. Yep. Absolutely no disagreements.
Yeah, no arguments here. Now, I can't wait till we get an argument. This is when it gets fun. Okay. By the way, I want to say the may not be warm outside. I may have worn a balaclava for my morning bike ride, but the Sunnyside Session IPA is warming up the cockles of my heart. Nice. Bob, any words before I kick out the Outlier Jam?
No, go for it.
Rhythm is both the song's manacle and its demonic charge.
Yeah, I don't know if you'll know this.
The rhythm, the rebel. Without a pause, I'm lowering my level. That's a Public Enemy sample. Oh, that's an FOTM sample. That's Chuck D. Is it Chuck D?
The rhythm.
Much Music 1989, 90.
Yeah, I put this on the Master T dance mix.
But it makes no difference what persuasion you are.
So listen to the voice, okay, Rob?
Get up, get on the floor, start
Will I recognize it?
musical measure that makes you move. Soon as the needle's dropped into the groove. So get up and dance to the gift I'm giving. Forget all your troubles. Get into the rhythm.
Hearing it now in the headphones, it's got a very Will Smith vibe.
That's true. Like summertime almost.
Yeah, and
Drums,
the vocals,
please.
The rap vocals, yeah. On the Alpine.
Yeah. No, you're right. It's a very similar sample. So this is a rapper by the name of Everlast, and he came out. This was his first single, actually, and he was dressed in a suit, and he had like slick back hair. He was a super. We would have called him a prep in the day. He was he would have been. He was being played alongside like CNC Music Factory and even Marky Mark, probably Good Vibrations. Like
what year?
This is like 90-ish,
Early 90.
Yeah.
90, okay.
And so we saw this. We knew this song. This was again part of that era, like around that New Jack Swing sound, and then.
Soul
that was
to
the
Soul
only
with-
Soul to Soul. That's the other one I was thinking of. Yes,
That's an FOTM band.
Yeah. There's a cover of "Don't Make Me Over" by Sybil that sounds very similar to that.
It's that beat. It's
that sample, which
it's
was
that
also
Milli
in
Vanilli sample.
the Vampire Weekend song that I played. So this comes out, and it's like a moderate hit, I would say.
Yeah.
And then I don't know if Everlast had another single for a while, and then this comes out afterwards. He joins a band, or he starts a band.
Yeah.
And this.
I still fucking love this song.
Great song.
I feel
This is
it.
Everlast. This is Everlast is the lead rapper in House of Pain.
Really?
Yes.
Who wants to rap this with me?
All right, do it.
Oh, man.
Great song. Pack it up, pack it in, let me begin. I came to win, battle me, that's a sin.
I won't ever slack up, punk, you better back up. Try and play the
Same guy, same guy.
That's amazing.
Stand up.
Totally changed his look.
Yeah.
Had the Boston Celtics jersey on.
Oh, yeah.
It was a total, like you would call it, like you know how people got mad at Lana Del Rey because she did that with her career? Like if people had a 24-hour news cycle and everything in their hands in the early 90s, they would have called this guy out for being a poser in a second.
Or maybe like even like a jagged little pill Alanis, maybe.
sure,
right?
yeah.
We had to be, hey, this was her
Yes.
5 years ago.
I mean, Canada knew that, but the United States didn't know that,
that's
right?
right,
Always
that's
too
right.
hot, never too cold into that. So this is Everlast is the main rapper in
Interesting.
in House of Pain, and then and this is a huge.
this CD, I own this CD. It was called Fine Malt Lyrics. Fine Malt Lyrics?
No, Shamrocks and Shenanigans, isn't it? No,
I don't think so. I think it
maybe
was
that's
called
the other
Fine
single.
Malt Lyrics, I
Right.
think. Maybe
Maybe that's the other single. Sorry.
But I remember put on your shit kickers and kick some shit.
Yeah.
And there was a Top of the Morning was a song. I
That's
used to
right.
just pump it at 11,
Yes.
man.
I
don't know it.
Top of the Morning to young. No, I mean you had to be.
You had to be there.
You had to own this disc. I
right.
think.
Yeah.
But I was a fan.
I encourage you to go look up that video and watch the two videos kind of side by side to see how much they changed themselves.
Wow.
But they also, you know what? I mean, I don't know if he was friends with DJ Lethal, who was a real DJ, right? Like,
Who's technically been on the show? He'd be on live streams when his dear friend Stu Stone was on
right.
the program.
So DJ Lethal is the DJ in this band. So I don't know. I didn't look that deep into how did he go from being the rhythm, wearing a suit and trying to be all cool to this guy.
Wow.
I don't really know the story.
And of course, Limp Bizkit's DJ is DJ Lethal.
Right, but
So
that's
he's still
we're
touring
still
today.
we're still almost 10 years away from that, or like
Wow.
we're like 8 years away from that.
Wow.
And then Whitey Ford Sings the Blues is probably his
Well,
biggest.
hold on.
That's it.
Well,
So-
there's
so-
two we should do there.
I didn't want to do what it's like because we always.
Well, I might do a bit of it. Only
Okay, go for
because
it.
literally on Q107 yesterday, I heard what it's like.
Yeah.
yesterday on
And this is the
Q107.
second single off of
Second, yeah.
this is the second single off of Whitey Ford. So this is the same guy.
You know what? Let's just do the
This is
big one. Let's
Everlast.
just
See,
do
when
the
I think of
fucking big
Everlast-
one.
Go for it. Do the bigger one. You're right.
When I think of Everlast,
Also,
I think
a great
of this.
song. This is a
This is
great
Everlast.
song.
Yeah.
This is Whitey Ford Sings the
Yeah,
Blues,
yeah.
This
which
is-
was the disc playing when I got in my worst car accident in 1999
Oh, wow.
with FOT and Mark Carey in the passenger seat on the 401, and they almost rode off the 99 Protege in 1999.
Wow.
This was the disc that was in the CD player.
Wow.
The album, by the way, was self-titled.
Why do I think it's called Fine Malt Lyrics? Maybe that was written on the cover or something.
Yeah, and Shamrock and Shenanigans was the second single. Yeah, I think radio has burned this song to a fucking crisp. I can't stand it.
It's
now.
played a lot. Like I heard it on Q yesterday.
It tests well. That's why
But-
they play it. It tests very well.
When this first broke, we were like, "This is the
massive.
guy from Jump Around."
Yeah.
So this is the guy from Jump Around?
Yes.
Yeah.
Same guy.
See, that's
Everlast.
more of an outlier. Like to me, that they're all outliers.
But
Each
it's not an outlier because he did whole
'Cause he's a
albums like
rapper.
this.
Yeah,
Also,
I
like
see.
there was a one.
I think the
The
first
rhythm.
song's the outlier because
Yeah, yeah.
it's got that boom, it's got the beat to it. That's the most outlier.
Yeah.
But this was quite the pivot by Everlast.
Yeah.
Who had a heart attack at like 40? I remember that was the big thing. Oh, you can
Yep.
have a heart
Well,
attack
that's
at
right.
40.
Wow.
There you go. That's Everlast.
Also, they censor this song for the radio in
Oh,
a
I
weird way,
know.
like smoked finest greens.
Yeah, you didn't say
Shout out
green.
to Canada Kev. Why are you censoring greens?
Oh, well, so here's when I had this conversation the other day because of Tom Petty. Let's roll another joint.
Smoke it, yeah.
When that song first came out, radio censored the word joint.
But maybe the artist censors it
No.
for radio.
No.
So they don't have to worry about it.
The label would, maybe, not
Maybe
the
the
artist.
label.
I'm telling you,
Okay.
the artist wouldn't. The label would. Goddamn, this funny man shooting off his balls.
What a start to the Outlier Jam.
There you go.
Okay, I don't even know how to compete, but I'll do my best, okay? Thank you, Everlast.
They call her a sinner. They call her. Oh, sorry.
They called her a whore. They censor that too, I think.
Yeah,
for
of
the
course
radio
they
edit. Okay.
Although
Ready
you
for
should-
my Outlier Jam?
Yeah, go for it.
Hit it.
Oh my God, my phone's playing music.
I can hear us coming back here.
Sorry.
Outlier Jam.
I feel unhappy. I feel so sad. I've lost the best friend that I ever had. She was my woman.
Oh.
I love her so. But it's too late now. I've let her go. I'm going through changes. I'm going through changes.
Name that band.
It's Black Sabbath.
Black
It
Sabbath.
is? Oh. I recognize the Mellotron in the background, the keyboard.
Yes, the melody. Yes, I'm glad you recognized it. That's
I take a Mellotron every day.
that's Geezer Butler and Tony Iommi
Yeah.
using that Mellotron. They kind of create a sound of an orchestra here.
It's
Okay,
beautiful.
so this is a heavy metal band, but
What's
you
the name
wouldn't
of
know it
this?
from this song. Okay,
Yeah,
this
what's the
song's
name?
called Changes.
So the I'm going through changes is from another song.
No, I'm about to blow your mind.
Blow it.
Hang in there, Bobby Willette. Indie 88 Zone. Can't believe I'm lucky enough to get him as a regular guest. Honestly. Okay, so this, of course, the voice you hear belongs to Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, young Ozzy. Wow.
And this is 1972.
Wow.
It's on volume 4. I guess they were, them and the Led Zeppelin like to name their albums like that. Okay. So Black Sabbath. Okay, so the melody here was composed on the piano by Tony Iommi,
Nice.
who's the guitarist for the band. Geezer Butler wrote the words.
Wow.
This is, of course, the voice of Ozzy Osbourne.
God, I hear an influence on Queen even in a song like this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
This was inspired by the drummer's breakup with his first wife, the
Wow.
drummer Bill Ward, that inspired this song. So this is very quite a departure. They had a well-known sound
Yeah.
at the time. What a departure!
Outlier
But I-
jams always seem, with rock bands, they always seem to involve a piano.
You got it right away.
I recognize that sound.
So I have two mind blows, but maybe I'm going to let people know a typical sound for Black Sabbath because Lieve Famke might not know Black Sabbath, okay? So we need to look out for the people who aren't metalheads like Midtown Gord. All right, so let's listen to something more Black Sabbath-y.
Oh my God, it still sounds so good.
This is a great song.
Yeah.
This and War Pigs are the two.
For sure.
Oh, I watched the Junos. Did anyone watch the Junos?
Yes.
I saw some of them.
There was a band. I wish I could fucking remember the name of the band. But they interloped the War Pigs guitar sound into this song they performed live at the Junos, and I thought it was rad.
Oh. It wasn't that girl band, that punk band?
Bayside? Is there a...
The Girls. It was an all-girl band.
It wasn't
the Girls?
It wasn't the Beaches.
The Beaches.
No, not the Beaches. No, there's another band. Wait, what are they called?
Maybe it was... Is there a Bayside? Like a band named after the Bayside?
I believe it was on Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, the Tigers. Are you kidding me? I'm a Saved by the Bell expert. Okay? When they went to Hawaii... Okay. So I have to tell you that this is what you'd expect Black Sabbath to sound like. Not like Changes. But some people listening are like, I know that Black Sabbath song. Maybe this is where Bob was going, okay?
No, I know it. Yeah. Same song.
What's the cover?
Yeah. Really?
This is a cover of the Black Sabbath song Changes.
What's the guy's name? It was a record store day thing, wasn't it?
Well, it's more... We're going to find out how savvy you guys are, but this is Charles Bradley.
Oh, this is Charles Bradley?
Yep. It was a record store day thing. It was 2013. It was a record store day Black Friday single. But most people hearing this right now, like my son and daughter, my older son and daughter, not the younger.
I was going to say, you don't let your young kids watch this show.
No. Oh, no, it kind of tells you about puberty and stuff.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be so bad. This cover of the Outlier Jam by Black Sabbath is the theme of the popular cartoon on Netflix, Big Mouth.
Is it?
Yeah. It's a theme song. It's really good.
Which will teach you about puberty, menstruation, hair on your nuts.
The what's his name's voice for the hormone monster? Sleep in it, pig. It's like one of my. Oh my God! What a great character.
So there you go. This could also be...
Charles Bradley was a James Brown impersonator.
Yeah. He's got a great voice.
Great soul music jam here.
It's funny how you can change the feeling of a song when somebody else does it, because now it sounds like an old.
Well, I swear to
song.
God, when I first heard that, I didn't know it was. I thought it. I Shazammed it because I loved it as the theme song, and then found out after all the.
Crazy.
And then your mind blow, of course, is that's a cover of a Black Sabbath song?
Yeah, right.
That is a mind blow. Yeah.
And then you hear Changes, and you're like, that's Black Sabbath?
Wow.
Like, it's such a beautiful ballad.
Yeah,
okay, set us up for your second jam, Mr. Rob Preuss.
I don't have anything to set up, but just listen to how beautiful the opening is.
It sounds like Love Reigns Over Me by The Who, that opening.
See, I couldn't tell you anything else they've done.
Oh, and Pearl Jam did an amazing cover of Love Reign Over.
Oh yeah, they do. They all.
I can't tell Bob anything about Pearl Jam.
Silicon chip inside her head gets switched to overload, and nobody's gonna go to school today. She's gonna make them stay at home, and Daddy doesn't understand it. He always said she was good as gold. and he can see no reasons, cause there are no reasons. What reason do you need to be shown? Tell me why I don't like Mondays. Tell me why I don't like Mondays. Tell me why I don't like Mondays. I wanna shoot the whole day down.
You can be sure when I was 14 and this was on CFNY, and I was so excited to learn this piano song.
At that point, have you done all your like? Are you 14? Like, are you grade 8 conservatory?
I was doing grade 8, grade 9 ish. Yeah. And there was very little piano in the new wave era. Like, I was like
a lot of keys, but
there's
not
a lot
piano.
of organ and like synthesizer kind of stuff. And when this song came out, I was like, holy shit! There's actually a piano in this song. I was so excited because it reminded me sort of Beth actually. Because with as much as I loved Kiss, then they had a song with a piano. I was like, holy shit! This is the coolest thing ever. So it was very exciting to me. And actually, I saw them play at Seneca College, the Boomtown Rats.
Oh, wow.
They toured because this song came out in '79. It was a hit in like in early 1980.
Yeah.
45 years ago.
Amazing.
So I actually went to see Boomtown Rats with the original keyboard player from the Spoons. Because he was a friend of mine.
And then you kicked him out of the band.
And then I kicked him out of the band.
Who made the Sopranos logo?
Exactly. Boom.
That's crazy.
See how everything's connected?
It's all connected, right? So we saw Boomtown Rats at Seneca College touring for this album. The album is
And
called
Kim
Fine Art of
Gordon is
Surfacing.
now the communications director at Seneca College.
Is he really? Listen. It's so beautiful.
I wanted to ask you. So in the you might not even know, but in the recording, is it a legit piano?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like it's
in
like
those days it was piano.
It's not it's not a synth.
Nope.
No.
There were no synths to do that sound in those days.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, no samplers, no nothing.
So you couldn't. So all the synth that was out there, you couldn't make a piano sound yet.
Not at all.
What year is this, Rob?
79.
Okay.
Yep.
Really?
Yep.
So for sure they had either like a baby grand or something in the studio. Wow. Okay.
And so when they toured, Yamaha had a piano called the Yamaha Electric Grand,
electric piano,
which
right?
was it was an actual acoustic piano with strings, but you could fold it in half and tour with it.
Wow.
Okay, before we get to the B-side, I want to just do a little mop-up. So I'm calling this this Juno's performance I liked with the War Pigs and church. I'm calling them B-sides for some reason because I know
it's an American
it's
band.
tied to.
I looked it up.
Yeah,
you were wrong.
but they're called Peach Pits.
Oh, Peach Pits.
Pits.
So
been around
it's not Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
It's 90210.
It was 90210.
That's funny.
But my brain
Related.
Oh, Peach Pit's been around. They're like contemporaries of like Crystal Castles and
So, okay,
Mastercraft, like all that.
A little more mop up here is that 1236, an FOTM Hall of Famer.
Yes, hello 1236.
Says Ben Rayner, FOTM Ben Rayner's on a video with Charles Bradley at the Toronto Star because Charles Bradley did a live performance at 1 Yonge Street. 1 Yonge Street, by the way, is going to be the country's tallest skyscraper is going to be at 1 Yonge Street.
Really?
It's going to go
105 stories. The penthouse, which is $30 million, is going to be the same level as the
observation deck.
deck.
The first observation deck, yeah.
And I need to tell you, on building Toronto's skyline with Nick Iones from Fusion Corp, we did an episode about both of these buildings. So we did an episode on 1 Yonge Street with the people making that. And then we did an episode on the CN Tower, which is the most recent episode. Yeah. And I liked the CN Tower ep so much with a guy named Jack Mesley, who was an iron worker who was building the CN Tower, that I actually booked Jack Mesley to be my guest on Toronto Mike to do a deep dive into the CN Tower.
That's cool.
His story was so amazing. So shout out to Ridley Funeral Home for 1 Yonge Street, which is now going to be no longer Toronto Star building, but also Charles Bradley, who I learned, of course, passed away in 2017.
Yes, right.
So that great soul singing, funk singing Charles Bradley, that voice has been silenced, sadly.
We did a big opening at the CN Tower when CFNY moved their antenna up there in
485.
Did you play it?
No, but we were like special guests. Like it was a big party thing.
Yes.
And there was something that we filmed for City TV where I was like in an elevator, like bringing fans up or something. It was like all this weird bullshit stuff.
That's so funny.
40 years ago. Yeah.
You want the B-side?
Yeah. So this is the B-side of Boomtown Rats.
No, 50 years ago.
Yeah,
50.
well,
Oh, no, 40 when they got on.
Yeah. CN Tower's 50.
Yes, that's right.
So this song, in that era, the most exciting thing to me, like to music listeners, was that when you had an album from the band you loved, they would release a single. The most exciting thing was to get the import single because there would be a song on the B-side that was different, not even on the album. So you'd have one more song. So this was Boomtown Rats, and this was not on the Fine Art of Surfacing.
in North America,
Yeah.
are the Boomtown Rats a one-hit wonder?
For sure.
Oh,
for sure. Except everybody knows Bob Geldof from Live Aid, of course. From
They
Do
know he's
It's Christmas?
important, but they
he's
don't know his
important.
other music.
Did you know the guy who worked with him on Do They Know It's Christmas?
Yes.
He is an FOTM.
Mr. Midge, I know. That's
Here,
a very
Midge,
cool
I
thing. I
should
know.
know.
Yeah.
And
Now
Cam went
now
into
he's, now he's filleting
Right.
himself.
Yeah. Well, Cam Gordon and I went to the El Macombo to see Midyear.
Yeah.
And it was,
Oh, it's him in a box, right?
it's him pressing play on
yeah.
a laptop
Yeah.
and then singing to it. And I don't know what the difference is between that and karaoke.
Yeah, not much. Except that
Like,
you wrote
what
the
do you
song.
think, Bob? Would you see a legacy artist if they just everything was pre-recorded except the vocals?
Well, I saw Howard Jones at Eden Fest '96, and
wow.
and he
Wow.
was he's past his prime at that point.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
'96.
Yeah.
Comes out in a yellow suit, like but he has a synth with him, right? He's got like two. So, is it any different than going to see Fatboy Slim? Is it any different
really.
than going to see Underworld
Well, it is
or
different,
Chemical
isn't it?
Brothers?
Yeah,
or,
yeah, yeah.
I don't know because
don't know.
Fatboy Slim, Norm Cook, it was always a DJ. Like
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah.
That's the vibe. But meanwhile, mid-year, these songs had a band behind
That's
them.
true. Thomas Dolby did the same thing, and it really worked for Thomas because he was very open about it. What he did, I saw him in a club in New York like 15 years ago, 20 years ago even, and he would come out with all the synths.
Right.
He wore a camera on his head,
Yeah.
and he would sort of like on a screen show you how he would build up a song,
Right.
which was kind of interesting.
Ed Sheeran did that at
Yeah, that's
Skydome,
right.
like on a whole
Exactly.
tour.
I
just
know,
like
with the looper pedal.
sampling.
That's
with the
right.
But
Yeah.
how much would somebody have paid to see Midge or or whatever?
I don't have that information because I was comped.
Yeah. So
Because the
like,
guy who promoted it put me on a list.
I don't
because
know.
He's an FOTM.
If
Ed
you're a
Souza.
huge like if in 30 years I'm still alive, I'm 80 years old, and Eddie Vedder's 90, and he's playing somewhere, and he's going to be doing karaoke, I'm going.
I would, but wouldn't you rather see him just have a guitar or
Of
just
course.
a piano? That's the difference,
Of
right?
course.
To me,
Of
like
course.
I saw Midge do a solo show in New York, and it was just him on a guitar.
Yeah.
and a keyboard.
yeah.
But
and
an
I thought that
interesting
was great.
conversation because he presses play and then he sings
Yeah.
along to it, and you're like, "Am I seeing what was this band called?"
Ultravox.
Ultravox.
How
yeah.
dare you?
Well, I missed them.
I know.
I'm,
I'm kidding.
I'm only a little older than Bob Willette.
You also just shat all over Bob Geldof's music there, like talking about Midge-ur.
But that was the
That's all right.
what
That's
they
the
normally
B-side.
sound like.
That's
so
right.
the
Yeah,
outlier
yeah, yeah.
is I don't
Yes.
like Mondays.
That's right.
Fun fact from 1236: the Boomtown Rats album cover by
Oh,
Toronto
yes.
painter Lauren Miller.
That's right.
Oh.
And Lauren was discussed on a Shout Out to Ridley Funeral Home segment
Yep.
we had on Toronto Mike
Yep.
back in the good old days when Mark Weisblatt would visit once a month.
He's coming back.
Is he?
Yeah.
Do you know this? Have you talked to him?
No.
Then
I
why do
just
you think
have-
he's coming back?
Because I have a feeling I'm putting
Is
it
he
out
mad
into
at-
the
is he
universe.
mad at you or something? Or?
No, I don't think he's mad at me at all. He did come to a Christy Pitts recording. We had a good chat. I chat with Mark Weisblatt every day. He's on the live stream right now.
I know
Would
he
you
is.
go on the live stream for somebody you're mad at?
Yeah, probably just to hurl insults.
Also, so the reason is Bob Geldof saw the painting, The Fine Art of Surfacing.
Yes.
And that's where the Lauren Miller
It's
connection
such a good
comes
album.
from.
I can't tell you, like, as far as new wave albums, that turn of the era, it's unbelievable.
And J-Hope points out that people are buying tickets to hologram shows of
Yeah.
dead performers.
I know.
Oh, is that true?
Yes, well, not necessarily dead. Lana was in London and
Yeah.
saw
At
there's
the
a
ABBA show?
hologram at the ABBA show.
The ABBA show is supposed to be
Yeah, but
amazing.
at
It's
least they're
amazing.
alive.
Yeah.
Like, is anybody buying tickets to see a dead artist do hologram?
There's some weird Elvis tour hologram.
Oh, yeah,
with
yeah,
his
yeah.
old band
Yeah.
members.
Yeah, but Elvis fans are nuts.
So the answer is yes, they
Yeah,
are.
right.
It's okay, so
Yeah.
there's something for everybody here.
Yeah.
Okay, so good job. I think the first round of Outlier Jams
Good
kicked
job.
ass.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm excited to play
This is the
Bob
beginning.
Willette
This is now
second.
we're in the halfway through the second.
round.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
right. Well, we're almost halfway there.
Okay.
Halfway through this song, we'll be
I think
halfway through.
was this one? I think this might have been mentioned in the group chat. I don't or my.
Let's see.
Oh no, it's not. No, it's not.
That's a good Outlier jam. I never thought of
Bob knows his shit. Why do you think he's here? Why do you think he's replacing? Is he replacing Cam or Stu? Which one are you?
it. I don't know.
I don't know. Cam doesn't like me. Remember?
That's right.
Cam's missing out. At TMLX18, I want a photo of Cam Gordon and Bob Willette
Yeah.
hugging. Was this song in Revenge of the Nerds?
I would
Probably.
sounds like it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I might be confusing it if it did, but it was that style anyway.
So this is like same thing. Eras like Pump Up the Volume and
Oh, this is way before.
yeah. Oh,
What year
Pump
is
the
this?
Volume was 1990. This is 1983.
No. Pump Up the Volume's not 1990.
no, it's
88,
like 88,
89.
maybe, yeah.
I'm going to find out. It's Mars, right?
Yeah.
Mars. That was a big jam for me.
This Rocket is 1983.
Yes, it's very. He was taking the scratch. He was scratching.
This is one of the first things that ever had
87
scratching.
for Pump Up the Volume.
I was
so
87.
not that much before, but
No, but
still
in those
before.
days, things were moving fast.
yes, I think not like now where
Not
things
like
are
now.
slow.
Yeah,
That's why we needed rapid facts.
Exactly.
On Much Music.
That's right.
So this is Herbie Hancock.
Yeah.
Who went in 1983 when
Yeah.
I'm 7 years old,
Yeah.
and the video has the legs
legs, I
walking,
know.
and yeah,
That's right.
And it was cool, and people were like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
Like, it was
Very cool.
It was very cool, and then I found out years later, oh, he's a jazz artist, and I have friends who love
never thought of
jazz.
it. Yeah.
I still don't feel smart enough to love jazz. I feel like I just don't get it.
You're no
Always.
Ralph Benmergui.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm definitely no Ralph Benmergui.
Or James B.
So this one, best. I didn't even know this existed, but it won a Grammy for best R&B instrumental.
Yeah.
So I don't even know. Does that even still exist? That award?
I don't know.
There are no words.
So the video, the one with the robotic legs, is created by Godley and Cream.
What? Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Cry.
I forgot.
Yeah.
That was one of my
Yep.
favorite videos as a kid.
Yep.
You see on Toronto Rocks or whatever,
Yeah.
because the faces melded in a sort of black or white Michael Jackson
Yeah,
way.
that's right.
Years before.
Yep. So there's a whole bunch of stuff, percussion. It's really crazy, right? There's synthesizers. There's a bunch of samples. And Oberheim DMX.
That's the drum machine.
That's the drum
Yep,
machine
that was
does
Prince's
it.
drum
And
machine
not
as
the
well.
rapper.
Yes. Grandmaster Kaz does who's from.
He's drifting again. I just want to point out the live stream, whatever. But you do drift.
This is
through the
why-
show.
this is
doesn't
my
like
spot.
me.
No, it's not you. I like
wants to
have
look at you,
I like to
maybe.
have a view.
Okay.
So the producers on this song,
Yeah.
Michael Beinhorn and Bill Laswell,
Yes.
like they're unbelievable guys, and this was one of their early projects, and they worked with young Whitney Houston in a band called Material.
Oh, wow.
Before she did anything else
Right, oh, he did this on the 1985 Grammy Awards.
with Thomas Dolby.
Yes, and Stevie Wonder.
Stevie Wonder. I
Yes.
was there.
And
I'm
Howard
older.
Jones.
Yes.
You were at that show?
No, I wasn't there.
Oh.
I saw it on TV.
Okay.
But
He was there in Burlington.
I was in Burlington in front of my TV enjoying it.
Grammys were in Burlington?
So this, Rolling Stone magazine called this number 131 on the 200 greatest dance songs of all time.
Wow.
This was just and then Billboard ranked it 39th in the 100 best dance songs of all
Amazing.
time. So then I just went and picked out some other Herbie Hancock stuff.
For the contrast.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I never thought of it. What an outlier it is.
And of course, a very popular modern music song samples it. Us Three? Is that what they're called? Us
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's cool.
Remember Cantaloupe?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. How do you rank hits for a jazz person? I just kind of I was like, okay, which one?
No, this is one like a Herbie Hancock. People will recognize it, if not from nothing else, from Cantaloupe.
Yeah.
Tip Trip, Zip Fantasia, whatever.
Yeah. So that is, I would say, Rocket is probably one of the most strident outlier jams ever.
It's number
You know
one
what,
for
Bob's,
sure.
is he hitting it out of the park today?
He
or what?
really is.
No arguments.
Yeah.
And there's more.
Wait till my last one. Don't worry. I got another Herbie Hancock there for you too. I think. Yeah. See, this is this one. This is going and hanging out at the Rex.
Oh, this is cool.
Yeah. And obviously hoping to see something like, and I've done it. And
This is great.
No, this isn't strident enough. This isn't weird enough. This is actually kind of like normal music.
The best R&B instrumental performance no longer exists.
I didn't think so.
It was awarded for the last time in 1993 to the coolest motherfucker on the planet, Miles Davis.
Oh, there you go. Might as well just retire it after that.
Herbie won it again in 85 for sound system. This
Wow.
information is brought to you by the VP of No Sales.
Nice. Tell him to keep his notes to himself.
And shout out to Andy, who is on the live stream. And Andy, not to be confused with Andrew Ward. They're both Andy Pandies. But Andrew Ward says, Watermelon Man, don't forget to play the synth version.
Oh.
That's a famous song. I mean, a Herbie song.
Yes, yeah.
But Rocket is a real, that was really groundbreaking at the time. Like, there was nothing like
and
it.
nobody, I'll be honest, nobody in my world, like my mom and dad wouldn't have known who Herbie Hancock
Sure.
was at all
Yep.
until that comes out. And all of a sudden, CFTR was playing it.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
It's a huge hit.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Yep.
But it's funny because
Was it from Beverly Hills Cop?
maybe.
That's Axel F.
Oh yeah,
Here's
that's right.
another too.
Harold Faltermeyer. Yes. But what's funny, like when I think of like I loved Rocket so much at that time. I was 17 when it came out, and I had that 12-inch single. It did not make me want to learn more about Herbie Hancock. I didn't want to learn about any jazz music or anything because it was so different. It was just like so forward sounding. It was like the future.
Yeah. Oh, it was. No, it's Herbie Hancock. No, Axel F. That's not Herbie Hancock.
No, it's Harold Faltermeyer.
Yeah.
It is in these movies. It is in Hot Rod. It's in The Beanie Bubble, and it's in Zoolander.
That's in Zoolander. Oh, geez.
But nothing around that time.
No, that's right.
And it was in an episode of The Simpsons, of course, an episode of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
And it was on Saturday Night Live. I guess he played it live. He was a musical guest in 1985, I believe.
Oh, that was around the time of the Grammys, probably.
Oh, it was played in episode 5 of season 5 of 6 Feet Under.
Wow.
Okay, good job, everybody. You want to hear my second Outlier jam?
Hit it.
Yes, please. Well, that's quick. Pepper! Sorry. Martin Streak used to do that.
Shout out to Ridley Funeral Home.
Again, I couldn't tell you any of their other music.
I'm in love with you, girl, you know it's yes.
It's a really slowed down, but I got it.
See, I think of a different song.
Marky got with Sharon, and Sharon got Sharia. She was sharing Sharon's outlook on the topic of disease. Mikey had a facial scar, and Bobby was a racist. They were all in love with dying. They were doing it in Texas. Tommy played piano like a kid out in the rain, and then he lost his leg in Dallas. He was dancing with the train. They were all in love with dying. They were drinking from a fountain that was pouring like an avalanche coming down the mountain.
I don't mind the sun sometimes, the images it shows. I can taste you on my lips and smell you in my clothes. Cinnamon and sugar and softly spoken lies.
You know this?
No?
I like it, but I don't know what it is.
It's a very cool song.
Shout out to Jimi Hendrix. This is from Electric Larryland, a 1996 album from Butthole Surfers.
Wow.
Now, the fact this thing charted, this was like an alt-rock hit, is unbelievable. I mean, the band is called Butthole Surfers, okay? This band, there's no radio-friendly unit shifters in this catalog, but this one was a hit.
Massive.
So you like, Rob, you're the musicologist here. We just play one on podcasts and on the radio. Rob, what do you think of this song? You hear
I
it
like
the
it,
first
but
time, right?
I love it, but I don't know what it is. Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah, I fucking love it too.
It's great. It's got a great noise thing to it in the background, and
Yeah.
I love the talking version,
Yes.
and it's a
Yeah,
great.
but you know who it reminds me of? Because you were singing a song at the beginning, like it reminded you
Milli
of
Vanilli.
Milli Vanilli. Okay, to me, it's Beck.
Yes.
From Mellow
Well, yeah,
Gold.
for
Very much.
sure.
Mellow Gold era
Yes.
Beck.
What year would this be for Butthole Surfers?
This is 96.
Is it
So
really?
it's post Mellow Gold.
Post Mellow Gold.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. In fact, if I let me just.
You could
actually-
probably say if there was no Beck,
Voices
there'd
of
be
Evil
no.
on no
The Nightmares, yeah.
So it's Loser.
Yes,
So
of
this is
course.
like a,
Yeah,
a parody of Loser,
Yeah.
but a hit.
He's playing with the TSO.
Is he?
Yes.
Oh, he's doing an
He's
orchestral
doing-
tour.
yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so what do they normally sound
Yeah.
like? I don't even know what to pull, but it's wild shit. I'm going to tell you a bit about Gibby Haynes. In
Were
a
you a
minute. I mean,
fan?
it's,
Were you a fan? Did you have this?
No, I didn't own it at all. I didn't think this is a band I only knew from Pepper. Like,
Oh,
it's
okay.
like, what is Butthole Surfers? Like, and I think, you know where I knew it from? Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, right.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's funny.
I still watch Beavis and Butthead. I love Beavis and Butthead.
Some of the funniest things. Mike Judge is
That boy ain't right. I dropped that with a guest last week. That boy ain't right.
I played out of Billie Eilish. I played Jim Carrey going, "Oh, Billy," from Cable Guy.
That's funny.
People were like, "What the hell was that?"
Okay, so here's a little bit of like what
This
is
is
Butthole
this
Surfers?
is something.
Weird. Yeah, it's USSA by Butthole Surfers. But there's another example I'm going to share because I have a fun fact about it here. This is their second biggest hit. So by far, Pepper is the biggest hit that Butthole Surfers ever had. This is like their second biggest hit. And I'll tell you a fun fact about this song, which is called "Who Was in My Room Last Night."
Oh, I know the name. I don't know if I know the song.
Play this on Indie 88, you coward.
Would you call this stoner rock? Like,
I don't know
it's
what to
pretty
call
cool.
it.
Yeah, like, is it like?
There's a lot of like psychedelics involved.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah, like there's a. Yeah.
Okay, so.
Yeah, this is like Caius and Queens of the Stone Age. Yeah.
This is the second biggest hit.
This is Queens of the Stone Age. Oh yeah, cocaine, nicotine, the opening song off of the oh yeah, which Josh Homey's first band was Caius.
Right.
Oh yeah, this.
I actually like this song too, but don't ask me to name a third.
This is Butthole Surfers as well?
Yeah.
Wow. This reminds me of
Oh, this is good.
See, I'm at the Phoenix on a.
Oh, this is. You need to listen to Caius or the opening track on the Queens of the Stone Age debut.
Okay, so Gibby Haynes.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good, right? Yeah, it is very Queens of the
it
Stone Age.
reminds me
You're
of
right.
Ministry a little bit as well.
Yeah, well, hold on. Stop. Hold on. That's going to be the mind blow for Rob Preuss. Okay. So Gibby Haynes, his dad, I think this is a fun fact. His dad was Mr. Peppermint, who is a Dallas children's television host. So I get the idea Mr. Peppermint was like an Uncle Bobby for Dallas.
Yeah.
So Jerry Haynes is the name of Mr. Peppermint, okay?
Yeah.
So this is where Gibby comes from, right? Gibby, of course, and Al Jorgensen from Ministry lived with Timothy Leary.
Really?
Yes.
And they were like guinea pigs for Timothy Leary's psychedelic experiments. Wow. So you get an idea of how... And because I dove into... Butthole Surfers.
It's super
It's
cool.
so fucking out there. It's like Frank Zappa-esque, and it's like eclectic fucker-uppery.
Yep.
Okay.
Fucker-uppery.
Yeah. And I mean, another band I'm going to shout out because they had a cover of Rod Stewart, Do You Think I'm Sexy? That always
Revco.
Yeah.
Revolting Cocks.
Revolting Cocks.
Wow.
So,
It's a really good one.
And Haynes, by the way, has appeared in a Revolting Cocks song.
Jeez.
I think it's he's on Cocked and Loaded. Here's a mind blow about this song before I bring in where everybody knows I'm going, except maybe Rob Preuss. But who do you think produced this song? Who produced this album and this song? You'll never get it. I might have to tell you. But here, listen. There's a Chacha on the live stream. Chacha, who says, "Yes, Bob, love this song. I'm kicking it out, Chacha. This is my song."
Yeah, but it's all my things I'm adding to it that make it better.
Don't give Bob credit for this Butthole Surfers. I'm the one who knocks. Yeah, so Queens of the Stone Age there.
Big time. And here's the thing, though.
I love it.
How about this for a band? Like, 96 is their 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's their 7th album.
Amazing.
Yeah.
They got a whole, but like they go back to 84.
That's amazing.
So I bet you, I'd love to hear like.
I'm going to listen to all of it when
They're
I drive
one of these
back home.
bands that all the rock bands who are like cool, like they loved these guys.
Yeah.
I got to admit, I didn't listen to them a lot.
No.
So who produced this?
Al Jorgensen.
Nice guess though.
So there was only one thing that
John Paul Jones produced that song.
What?
John Paul Jones from Led Zeppelin produced that album.
He's fucking cool.
Electric Larry Lamb?
No.
No.
Who was in my room last night?
Oh, the song. Oh, okay.
Whatever album that is.
Okay. Yeah.
I fucking love this song.
I just gave away a bunch of tickets to Ministry at History. They're playing History.
New World Order.
I prefer So What, but I do like it.
Wow.
So this
It's amazing.
voice, of course, this voice is Gibby Haynes. from the Butthole Surfers.
Yeah.
But this song is a Ministry song entitled "Jesus Built My Hot Rod."
Oh my God, you're blowing my mind. It's going to
And as
dovetail
a
right into my
CFNY
next song.
listener in the 90s. Go ahead, Bob.
Oh, I was just saying, last summer I had mentioned that I saw Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
On that same bill was the band Filter and Ministry.
Wow.
Yep.
Shasha just said sorry to me on the live stream. Shasha, I was just kidding. It's okay. I'm just, my tongue is always in my cheek. Like when I say fuck boot sauce, I'm worried I'm going to run into boot
That's
sauce.
right.
And they're going to punch me in the nose. And they'll say, I didn't know your tongue was in your cheek, Mike.
I love that.
I want to love you.
I can't hear you.
I have distinct memories of I used to wake up to the Humble and Fred show.
Yeah.
Since the launch, because I was going to high school in '89.
Oh.
And then Howard left. Went to Mix 99.9.
Yeah.
And Fred stayed, and they would bring
Steve
in
Anthony, who came in.
No, he came in before. I don't think it was like May Potts, maybe Brother Bill. Was it
Not brother.
Scott Turner, maybe?
Maybe Scott.
I think Steve Anthony is pre-Humble and Fred.
No, I think he came in between. But maybe
But I think he's between Pete and Geets and Humble and Fred.
that's
Steve
true.
Anthony.
Yes,
I don't think he comes back. Okay, but I'm only a historian. But I distinctly remember in that period of time, which is like less than a year and a half, when there was no Humble and Fred, I distinctly remember hearing Jesus Built My Hot Rod on the morning show.
Wow.
This song on
That's
a
cool.
Toronto morning show.
Wow.
Like never again,
Those
probably,
were
but
the
I
days.
heard it.
Yeah, those were the days.
That's nuts.
It's great.
So fucking up. Okay. So my outlier jam is the most radio-friendly, melodic, catchy
Yeah.
Pepper.
Right.
Okay, I love this experience. Okay, so we're to you again, Rob Preuss.
Yeah.
Any words?
Well, it just occurred to me because this was reminding me of that other song you were playing reminded me of Ministry. And then I went.
This song is Ministry.
And this is Ministry. So this
New
song
World Order.
came out in the same year as my final outlier jam for the band that you're about to play.
Oh.
Okay. So let's get to the big outlier jam, which I think a lot of people are waiting for. To be quite, it was guest on the live stream. I didn't
That's
acknowledge
right.
it,
Yeah, yeah.
but here we go. What a tonal change.
Yeah.
This got mentioned in the chat.
Yeah. Imagine going from. Is there any radio station that would dare go from Jesus Built My Hot Rod?
I wish there
to
was.
More Than Words by
I
Extreme.
wish there was.
I would.
Yeah, you would.
I'm working on it. Don't worry.
Saying I love you is not the words I want to hear from.
It's one of my first CDs.
Is it
Wow.
real?
It's not that I
Oh, Porno Graffiti.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was big because it had He-Man. No, it had Wholehearted.
Wholehearted.
Yeah, Wholehearted.
And then Get the Funk Out.
Yeah.
But was that? Did it also have He-Man Woman Hater on it?
I don't know.
Because that was the song I gravitated towards. Not that I hate women. I love women.
it would be.
That's a problematic jam, maybe.
That's right.
How you feel more than words is all you have to do to make it real. Then you wouldn't have to say that you love me, 'cause I already know.
Take it away, Rob Preuss.
Spring of 1991, and this is one of those songs. You know, you have songs in your life where you can have a vivid memory of the first time you heard a song. It's like when people say, "Where were you when JFK was shot? Where were you when the Challenger exploded?" Whatever.
Or when Kurt Cobain.
When you heard about
discovered
Kurt
his
Cobain,
body.
I was on the Gardner Expressway listening to CFNY when they announced that. But this song for me,
Alan Cross, right?
Alan Cross, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But for this song for me, I was going on tour with Phantom of the Opera, and I had driven across Canada by myself in my little Honda CRX through the Rockies and everything, and I got to Vancouver and it was raining, and this song was on the local station, and I think it was the first time I'd heard it, and I was like, this is a fucking hit song. And it was my first time like tuning into the local station. I was excited to be getting to Vancouver.
Nice.
So my association with this song is always getting to Vancouver with Phantom and just knowing like it's such a classic
Monster
song.
hit,
Monster hit. Because it's such a good song.
But you know what song I pair with this all
What?
the time in my mind?
Yeah.
Mr. Big.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next to be the next with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they
To
were
be with you.
they're like around the
But
same time.
they were the same ballady.
That's right. And it all goes back to Kiss and Beth, and even to that Black Sabbath song you played.
You like ballads.
Well, and
Rock bands love ballads.
I love ballads too.
And rock bands do because it's like a safe hit.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, and the thing with this is like, so Extreme and Mr. Big are still trying to thrive as the grunge thing's starting.
Yes.
Eh? Like I had what's his name from Twisted Sister on my podcast, D. Snyder,
How
and
can
he
you
was
forget
just
that name?
He was just like. He's like, we were just, there's nothing we could do.
Yeah.
It was like, all of a sudden, nobody wanted us.
Yeah.
So these guys are like the last
You're right.
bastions
That's
of it.
spring 91?
Yeah.
Because 10 and Nevermind are coming in later that year.
It's like, it's coming, man. And you know it's coming.
Totally.
And and so this is like their last kick at the can, really.
Yeah,
like, because
really.
you're not selling out arenas or anything if you're Extreme. Extreme and Mr. Big.
Yeah.
And maybe if Extreme, Mr. Big, and Poison now, they could do a show.
Every rose has its thorns.
Yeah.
It's similar.
Yep.
And it was the
Kind
end
of a
of that
ballad for
line,
rock band.
Yeah.
for sure. And I remember at the time I bought the album, I got the CD,
Yeah.
and I was like, I was a little disappointed because
Because it did.
Wholehearted is good.
Wholehearted's a great song.
Yeah,
I like
but
Wholehearted.
There was
But the rest
something
of
about
it's-
them.
But that's why it's an outlier jam, because they're a
Yeah.
heavy fucking band.
Yeah. And you know
Gary
what?
Sharon.
What's the B-side? What's to the
Oh, yeah,
single?
so Kick the B-side.
what's his name? Nuno Betancourt.
Nuno Betancourt.
Is an astounding guitar player.
This is what I've heard. I
Yeah.
did not know that.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that this was a hit. You heard it. You knew it was a hit. I want to ask you.
Yeah.
What do you have an experience of writing something or putting something going? This is going to be a hit.
Yes.
Which one?
Romantic Traffic
Yeah?
and Tell No Lies, actually.
You knew?
Yeah. Like when
Did
Gordon
you know even before? Like you went to a producer. Like you guys you had it down.
But more interesting, have you ever said this is a hit and it bombed?
No,
you
because I don't really think about it like that. It's going to be a hit, but I remember
Blue
when
Rodeo
knew it was
says
special.
Try initially bombed. Nobody
Yeah.
would play Try until
Right.
Much Music started playing it. And there's an example where they were sure they had a hit on their hand.
Yeah.
But no radio would play it.
but they still trusted it. I feel like when Gordon and I were first working on Tell No Lies, I had programmed the drum machine, and he had the vague idea for the song. Like he had the section sort of worked out, and we sort of went through it together. And every step along the way, it felt like the right thing. Like here's the chorus, here's the build up,
Nice.
and then
That's so cool.
here's the verse, and it just was so exciting because I thought this feels like a right.
Oh, that's cool. I love that. I love that. I love hearing about that experience
Yeah,
because the creativity is just like it's the juice, man. It's what
and you
gets
go
going.
and because you don't really know what you're doing, but you trust. You sort of like step outside of yourself, and you kind of go with the flow of it.
I read
you know?
Rick Rubin's book, and a lot of the times it says the exact same thing. It's just like those things. Those sometimes it takes 20 minutes to write it.
Yeah.
It's done, and it's done. And you might flicker a little bit here and there with it, but
Yeah.
that's so cool.
How cool is this ending of the song? You don't really know
This is not in the radio edit.
No, that's right.
Shout out
I
to
know.
Nuno Betancourt.
Yeah. But you know what? Their next album, Extreme's next album, 3 Sides to Every Story, is fantastic. It's one of my
Really?
favorite albums of all time. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
That might have. That's a sentence that's never been said before.
I know. Yeah. Yep. That's more typical, right?
Yeah.
He's the one that's gonna make you feel good. He's
Yeah,
the
that's
one that
exactly
makes you
the same.
feel
Oh my God.
Dr. Feelgood. Home Sweet Home by Motley Crue is a bit of an outlier jam.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, this is like, no wonder it's a B-side. And these days, you know, like this B-side sounds like the rest of the album, but I don't think it was on the album.
I think this is a great choice because More Than Words was a sweet ballad, and I think a lot of not me, but some people would refer to them as like soccer moms.
Yeah.
Okay, not me.
Yeah.
I'm very progressive. I would never say such a thing. But
You
soccer
call them
moms
football moms.
would pick
Hockey
up.
moms.
They'd pick up porno graffiti from
Yeah.
More Than Words, and then they get hit with He-Man
Get
Woman
the
Hater,
funk out.
Right, which was like a Red Hot Chili Peppers thing they were trying to do. And they'd be like, "Where?"
This kind of has
But
a Chili Peppers
I'm
vibe
not
too.
going to steal Bob's thunder, but I have the same exact thoughts about Bob's final.
Yes,
life.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, extreme. And this guy, Gary Sharon, would at some point sing for the
Was he in
aforementioned Van Halen.
He was in Van Halen at
He
one
did,
point.
yeah.
He didn't do an album, did he, or did he just tour?
I don't know if he did
No, he did an album.
He did do an
I
album?
think there's a. I think after
there Gary
Hagar
Sharon?
leaves, there's at least one album with Gary Sharon on it.
I think you're right. Maybe you're right now that I said that. No.
I'm also right about
Oh, here we go.
FOTM Steve Anthony, pre-humble,
Yeah, yeah.
never post-humble.
But I feel like, all right. Well, we were.
88
You know
was
what?
his time.
Then when we went back to the mix, he was there.
Was that with Carla Collins?
Yep. Carla was gone when we
That was
got
a
there.
toxic mix. They were terrible together, and they both hated working with each
Extreme also sang at the Freddie Mercury tribute '92 at Wembley Stadium.
Yeah.
And they opened the show, and they were astounding.
Really?
Yeah, they did a couple of Queen songs, and then I don't know if they did More Than Words. I think maybe they
Probably,
did. But
yeah.
they did a couple of Queen songs, and they were fantastic. Yeah.
Benson Boone, current.
Did you watch him sing Bohemian Rhapsody?
Yeah, I
it was
thought he
good.
did okay.
It was okay.
I thought he.
I like him, though.
I like him too. I like his showmanship. I like his sense of humor.
Yeah.
He's got great songs.
Yeah.
I thought it was pretty ballsy to do it and bring Brian May out to play and everything.
And his High Galileos, he's got the voice of Roger Taylor.
Yeah.
I mean, on the original, it's Roger Taylor singing even higher than Freddie.
Yeah.
And he got those notes. It was amazing.
I just thought I don't know if it was nerves or whatever.
Yeah.
I just thought it was just okay.
Yeah.
It didn't blow me away.
Yeah. He was good on the Grammys.
Breaking news on the live stream. There is a second. So yeah, they released one Van Halen album with Gary Sharon as the lead singer.
I'm looking at
There
it
is
right
a
now.
second Van Halen album with Gary Sharon, but they didn't even put it out.
Oh,
It
wow.
was that bad.
Yeah. Wow.
There you go.
There you go.
Wow. Who's the FOTM who tried out to be lead singer of Van Halen? Was it by any chance Sass Jordan?
Ooh.
I think there's a story Sass
That
told me where
sounds
she
vaguely familiar.
She went to
Yeah.
hang with the guys for a week or something.
Tara Sloan tried out to be the lead singer of NXS.
Wow.
Yeah, of course. That was like a TV show.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But I think, but this wasn't a TV show. It was just Van Halen. To me, again, this might speak to my age, and you love the version when you were a teenager or whatever. But to me, my Van Halen includes David Lee Roth.
Yeah.
Am I alone out there?
No, mine too. Van Halen 3 is the band's only studio album to have Gary Sharon.
Wow.
With the big hits, Without You, One I Want, Fire in the Hole, and Dirty Water Dog.
Those are my favorite Van Halen songs. Okay. Bob, any words before I kick out a very appropriate outlier jam?
No, that's fine.
No, it might be the house. The house does it.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, it's not a human. Yeah, so this house, sometimes you'll get it.
It comes back
It comes
up.
in the basement.
Yeah.
There'll be a stink
Sounds like somebody
that
just
comes
had a
through the
really,
vent.
really bad incident in their pants.
No.
Really?
It smells like, yeah.
Sometimes I get embarrassed sitting here if it happens because the house farts.
Yeah. This is the first. Like I've
Oh, I see. It comes in through the.
it's the return. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You got to fix your trap.
It's a house fart.
It's a trap.
Okay, you want to help me
House
fix
gas.
my fucking trap?
I don't know. You're the one who gets paid to do this, not me.
But a human did not make that stink that Bob smelled.
Oh my God.
I promise.
Here we go.
Awake on my airplane, awake on my airplane. My skin is bare, my skin is theirs. Awake on my airplane, awake on my airplane. My skin is bare, my skin is theirs. I feel like a newborn, and I feel like a newborn. Awake on my airplane, awake on my airplane. I feel so Could you take my picture? 'Cause I won't remember. Could you take my picture? 'Cause I won't remember. Could you take my picture? 'Cause I won't remember. Could you take my picture? 'Cause I won't remember. Yeah.
Of course, that is Richard Patrick and Company, but mostly Richard Patrick. That's Take a Picture from Welcome to the Fold. And nothing they've ever done sounds like it. I had Richard Patrick on Bob's Basement, and that's how I got to go to this show. It was Filter opened, Filter Ministry, Alice Cooper, and then Rob Zombie at Bud Stage last year.
Thunder
And
Kiss 65.
and so what was interesting is talking to him before the show, talking to Richard Patrick before the show about this album and how big this song was, and him acknowledging that almost with like the conversation I just had with Rob about he knew it was a hit. Like, he put it together, this is a hit. Like he as he was writing it, he knew this, but it's not a traditional Filter song, which we're going to play some stuff in a second. Watching him do it, so he's playing at 5 o'clock on a Tuesday night or something, right? He opens, it's broad daylight, comes out, plays a couple songs that nobody knows, and then he plays this. About 3 songs. He's only doing 8 or 9 songs. So he plays this about 4 songs in. And then he's like, oh, he goes, it's funny standing up here watching. He goes like, oh, that's when everybody looks at us. Oh, it's that guy. Oh, it's that guy. And then he played Welcome to the Fold and ended with Hey Man, Nice Shot, which is the biggest song that they have. And of course, Richard Patrick, the guitarist for Nine Inch Nails originally, and him and Trent went to like opposite high schools. You can hear all about it on my podcast if you want to go back and listen to it.
And his brother, don't forget his brother.
And his brother is from T2, the aforementioned Terminator 2.
Right, Eddie Furlong's movie.
That's right.
And Eddie Furlong wears a Public Enemy shirt in that movie.
That's right. Everything's like connected today.
And X-Files was filmed in Vancouver.
Okay, sure.
Well, Robert Patrick took Mulder's spot.
So,
and Mulder was in the Larry Sanders Show, because Larry Sanders and him had this thing. It was quite an interesting arc. And, of course, Scott Thompson, the great FOTM, who was also in Bob's Basement.
That's right.
Was on Larry Sanders' show.
This song is one of those songs. I think I could have a list. I probably have a list of 10 to 20 songs that I will never turn off if it's on the radio. I would never turn this song off.
The song we're going to play next, I would never turn off, but I would turn this one off.
You would turn this one off, would
Andy's
you?
got an idea for the fact the house does an occasional, once in a while, the house does a bit of a fart.
Oh, it's just vile, man.
Okay, well, all right, so the suggestion is that we pour water in the trap. It might be dry.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
And letting the sewer gases out. So, okay,
that's
so
true.
Andy, I will pour... I was going to say, I'll get Rob Preuss to go and do it.
I'll do it.
I'll pour some water in the trap and see if that, although it hasn't happened in a while, but once in a blue moon, it does. And it does smell like a bit of a sulfur kind of a fart
sulfury,
thing.
yeah.
And you don't want your guest when you're recording.
Can you imagine, like, if you had Paul Langlois, the tragically hip, down here? Actually, he'd probably think it was funny. He'd go, "Can I at least light up a smoke then?"
Right,
you know?
right.
Gilmore would flip his wig if he fucking...
That's right.
Well, and he can barely hear, so his sense of smell must be really better too.
He did have to put on his hearing aids for his Toronto Mike debut.
Light some incense, man.
And I'm not talking about Doug Gilmour. By the way, this Doug Gilmour jersey I'm wearing, which I only put on because I saw the great Bob Willette wearing a Leafs hoodie, and we got the Sens series coming up very soon.
Oh, I love they're playing the Sens.
It's signed by Doug, so if I turn around, you see,
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, there it is.
because Hebsy took it to the Killer's home, and the Killer
That's nice.
signed it for me. So
That's lovely.
thank you to all of the above. And
So, have you had him? He hasn't been in the basement, has he?
Doug?
No.
No, not yet.
Him and Wendell, right?
Well, Wendell's been on twice.
Yeah.
In person, but never in the basement.
Not in the basement, though.
Once at Christie Pitts.
And then what, the Joe Carter thing or
The
something?
Joe Carter.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
it. Yeah.
Thank you. I couldn't remember where that was. Hey, can I play the big one?
Please.
Do it.
This is my favorite Filter song. I'm not alone, I'm supposed. And if I hear this, I will listen to the whole thing. I fucking love it. And then make sure you give us the origin story because it's a great story. And I'm giving you orders. I'm giving you production notes. And then
I'm not going to do the origin story of this. I'm going to do my Martin Street
Don't you want to
impression.
talk about what Hey
Club-
Man, Nice Shot is about?
Club 102 Saturday nights. 250.
Do all of the above.
410 Sherburne Street. DJ Dwight. RQEQ technical guy. Tim Welch lighting it up.
What'd you call it?
I was RQEQ technical guy.
I love that name.
Hey man, nice shot. Edge 102. Hit the post, baby!
And now you blew it. Maybe I'll tell Rob Preuss the story.
Tell me.
Tell me the story, Uncle Mike. Fucking love this song because it's got that great build up. It's a sound I liked at the time. It kind of a stabbing westward vibe. I hope the great Bob Willette can hear me as I shout out Stabbing Westward. They had a song like this.
It's a great sound.
Do you know the name Bud Dwyer?
Maybe, but not off the top of my head.
That's why I say hey man, nice shot.
Bud Dwyer, back in 1987, was he was in like a bribery. He was a treasurer. Pennsylvania state treasurer, R. Bud Dwyer. And he was engulfed in this controversy, bribery charges. He was going to be sentenced to jail for this. Dwyer killed himself live on television.
Oh, yeah, you've talked about him before.
Yeah, because it's footage I've seen
Right.
that I can't get out of my head.
You can't unsee it.
You can't unsee that shit. I want to know, Bob, have you ever seen the footage of Bud Dwyer shooting himself in the head on live television?
I have, yeah. I've seen some bad stuff.
Marilyn Manson. There's a name for you. There's a problematic artist for you. Marilyn Manson apparently had audio of there's audio of this press conference because Bud Dwyer says something. He takes a gun out of a bag and
Right.
shoots himself in the head, and you see it. It's live.
Right.
It's, there's audio. There's video of this. So Marilyn Manson samples this audio of Bud Dwyer's suicide, and then Richard Patrick, FOBW, Richard Patrick hears the sample and gets very excited by it. This is according to Marilyn Manson. And next thing you know, he writes, "Hey man, nice shot." "Hey man, nice shot" is not a basketball jam. It's not a hockey jam. It's a suicide jam.
Yeah.
When we kick out suicide jams, we can kick this one out.
Suicide is painless.
Here's a quote from Marilyn Manson, who in his own right is very problematic. But Marilyn Manson said regarding Patrick writing this song, "He wouldn't even have heard it if I didn't play it. I don't like him very much. He bothers me." So I'm just here to say, when you bother Marilyn Manson, that's next level. Fucking great song, though. Shout out to Stabbing Westward. So this episode I love because we played both Jesus Built My Hot Rod and Hey Man, Nice Shot. A couple of
some heavy tunes.
Love it.
And 90s staples.
I love it.
For the Bobs and the Mikes of the world.
I love me some heavy music, but I also love, I literally was listening to some ballads on the way over here.
Well,
I love ballads.
It's
as well.
that contrast, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel like that Ministry era and like the extreme stuff for me, because like growing up with rock and roll and then getting into musical theater was such a new world for me.
Right.
But I felt like I was tuning back into like I loved Ministry and I loved like heavy stuff.
Yeah.
Because it was like a contrast.
Yeah.
You need that contrast in your life.
Yin
right?
and yang.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Where did punk music? Because you were part of the new wave thing in late 70s. Where did like the heavier punk music live in your world?
I bought an album from a band called the UK Subs.
Oh, the UK Subs. Yes.
Which I thought I was supposed to like because I was like, man, there's this
They're
heavy
cool,
music.
yeah.
And I just couldn't quite, like, it was a little bit too heavy.
Yeah.
Because I loved heavy music. Like, I loved Queen and I loved Led Zeppelin.
yeah.
And there was something about the heavy punk stuff that didn't quite resonate as much as, like, the synthesizer stuff did and, like, the Boomtown Rats
What about
did.
Talking Heads?
Love Talking Heads.
But they're not punk.
No, they were
I
real
wouldn't
new
call
wave.
them punk.
No, they're post-punk. But
Can I just say something about like trying to like? So right now on my radio station, I'm giving away tickets to see the Mars Volta.
Oh, yeah.
Right, which is a band that I never.
I only know one song by them.
That's all they have is one hit. That's it. But they have like 7 albums or something.
Yeah.
And they've had like John Frusciante's been in the band. The drummer from Queens of the Stone Age has been in the
Wow.
band. They've had a rotating bunch of people.
Yeah.
It's like it's prog rock is what it is.
Right.
I can't fucking get into it. I try. I have all these people like called me every night to win these tickets. And they're like, Bob, don't you love it? I'm like, not really.
That's an acquired taste, but I guess if you
Well,
have
I just can't. I can't figure it out. Oh, this is Welcome to the Fold. This is the opening track off of the album that has.
So if I can paint a picture, I would never refer to these wonderful mothers as such.
Yeah.
But when the soccer moms here take a picture,
Yeah.
I don't know, Mix 99.9, where the fuck they heard it. They go buy the CD.
Yep. And this is
And
the
they put
opening
it
track.
in their minivan because
And
they
then
want to hear it. And this is the song they're hit with. So
You got your
you're
Jesus.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you're a soccer mom.
I've got
You just
my
bought
space. Although it does break down a little bit. It's quite melodic in the middle. I love this. Is one of my
this. No,
favorite.
but you've
filter
already
songs.
lost them.
Yeah. Just wait 1 second.
You're like, what's this noise? Tobias Vaughn. Oh.
Set yourself down.
So it gets a little melodic. I love this song. It's this on the album. It's 8 minutes long, and I asked him. I said 8 minute song as part of when you're opening.
Yeah.
You only get like 8 or 9 songs. He's like, oh no. He goes, I don't do a fucking 8 minute version of anything anymore.
Wow.
Mars Volta are amazing, says Tobias Vaughn.
Yeah, people love them, man.
Can you get him some tickets?
Probably.
Tobias, message Bob in the
Are they like
FOTM chat.
Are they like King Gizzard and the Wizard Lizard? I love those guys.
So my buddy, who's the jazz guy, saw them last summer.
I
and
saw them
said
last
it
summer
was
too.
Fucking crazy good.
Unbelievable.
I'd never heard of them.
Me neither. They do 2 nights at the stadium. In
Are
our
you
neighborhood.
leaving while we're?
Bye.
Or you now you're gonna?
loves those guys.
Like, yeah.
Yes.
So for the last 2 years in a row, they played. So I lived down the street from this place called Forest Hill Stadium in Queens.
Yes, I know.
They played
you told me
2
this.
sold out nights, and so I went last summer and saw them, and they were unbelievable. Didn't really know their
You
music.
need to meet my buddy David. My buddy David and you. He actually has. He went to York for saxophone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and now he's the head of marketing for Campari Canada, and he's a really good friend of mine.
Wow.
Really smart guy,
Yeah.
and loves music.
Oh,
like just
cool.
loves music. But he told me about this Ken Gizzard or whatever.
King
it is.
Gizzard and the Wizard Lizard.
and I had never heard of it.
They're Australian.
Yes, he
There's
said they're amazing.
There's like 6 guys in the band.
Yeah.
Every album they do, it's a whole different style.
Yes, this is exactly.
So they're doing a tour this summer with an orchestra.
Okay.
They're doing 2 nights at the stadium. They're going to do 1 night with an orchestra. The
Right.
next night, like the regular set.
So I was like,
They're so cool because they just keep trying shit. Like,
Yeah.
there's different singers in the band. The instrumentation is unbelievable.
this is what I've
off
heard.
the
Yeah.
charts.
So it's kind of like, I was thinking about the whole Mars Volta thing because I know of Mars Volta.
I know of them. I don't know what they sound like.
I don't know. So, yeah. So
You should listen to them.
I have listened to them, and I have not enjoyed it, to be completely honest.
Really?
It's just, you know what? I'll be honest. It's funny. I was going to say I don't normally appreciate higher register singing,
Yeah.
but I love Richard Patrick's voice.
Yeah.
And it's higher register.
Yep.
So like, because I don't get Rush. I don't get
Real
I
high.
real high.
Real
I don't
high
get
stuff.
so.
Yeah.
But I was saying that how somebody asked me how successful was the Mars Volta. I'm like, well, they're going to play history. They're going to sell it out.
Yeah.
They I liken it to those The Dead
Yeah.
and Fish and like there's a whole bunch of bands out there.
The
that
Canada Kev bands.
King Gizzard is in that list as well.
That's
for
what.
sure.
That's exactly
Yeah,
why I bring them up.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right.
Love it.
Did you pour some water in that trap?
Yeah.
Oh, you did? I did. Smell's gone.
Andy,
It's
the
gone.
smell is gone. It was just the
Hey, man,
one,
what's that smell?
the poorhouse. It's over 100 years old. It had a little fart. Old people sometimes don't know when they're farting.
I have you know what? I have an old house too. My house is over 100 years old,
Wow.
and it doesn't fart, but it does make a lot of noises
Houses make noises. Like,
Is your basement somewhere you spend a lot of time?
all the time.
Some people don't use their basement so much.
Oh no, my basement's completely finished. We've used every. That's where I record Bob's basement for Christ's
Bob's
sake.
basement.
I haven't heard an episode in months.
I know, neither have I.
Loretta Swit's like, when am I getting the call again?
No. After Loretta, she's.
This is Mike's basement.
When I saw it was Alan Alda's birthday a couple weeks ago, he's like 90 something. I'm like, I would love to have had Alan Alda on.
Right.
Anyways, but I haven't chased anybody in a long time. Sorry.
Okay, well, you're a busy man. You're on in 8 days a week, as the
I am.
Beatles would say.
Yeah,
Are you
that's
guys ready for my outlier
Let's
jam?
do it. Last one.
So far, there's been no controversy, and I'm
No.
wondering if I might get some here.
I hope so.
Okay, because I don't want it to be too easy.
want
Here
it
we
to.
go. My outlier jam to conclude the episode, and there's a couple of mind blows, but here we go.
Pursuit of Happiness. Sounds like I'm an adult now.
Hold your fire.
Yeah, you're wrong.
I think you like this band, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the Tragically Hip In View,
Never heard of them.
the first single from the band's 10th album, World Container. I heard Bob early in that song telling me I'm wrong.
You're wrong. This is
But
not
let me
right.
explain myself,
Okay, please do.
And you're talking to a guy who I've heard, I think I can safely say I've heard every Tragically Hip song they've ever released.
Yeah, makes
Big
sense.
fan, okay? Seen them live many times. Okay. This is a pop song. This is an extremely poppy song. The producer of this album and this song is Bob Rock. And if you watch the Prime documentary series on the Tragically Hip made by Mike Downey, you will know about the controversy where Bob and Gord had this one-on-one relationship that cut out the rest of the band, the other four members of the Tragically Hip. They were always a equal member fivesome, and then all of a sudden it was Bob Rock and Gord making decisions and doing things. And this is a super pop song that doesn't sound like a Tragically Hip song. It's like a radio-friendly pop song. And if you dig into it, you learn Bob Rock was
Interesting.
really pushing Gord to create a radio-friendly pop song.
You know, it's funny. Bob Rock worked on a Honeymoon Suite album. Bruce Fairbairn and Bob Rock did the second Honeymoon Suite album, Big Prize. And there's a bit of a sound of Johnny D on this. It's a little Honeymoon
Okay, well,
Suite
let me
sound.
hear a bit here. So when I hear In View, I don't hear the I mean, of course, that's Gord's voice, and Gord's voice is going to be Gord's voice. But it doesn't sound like a hip song to me. It sounds more like a... We're going to you in a minute, Mr. Willette.
I got so many things to say.
It sounds more like to me like a Sky Diggers song.
Yeah.
Like this is a Sky Diggers song.
I see what
it's
you're
just
saying.
it's just
Sky
not
Diggers
it's
are not
hippie.
radio friendly.
No, but it's they have a couple of radio friendly songs, of course. But Bob, speak to me.
It is not an outlier track. Listen to Poets or My Music at Work. They're the same songs. They're all the same. Yeah,
okay,
they are.
I disagree.
No, they are. They're poppy hits. They've made poppy hits all along. Yeah. Fireworks? Come on. They have made poppy hits all along.
You're confusing big radio hits with
No, I'm not.
Radio-friendly pop rock.
I am not confusing. I'm confusing. I'm not. The sound is so
So
similar.
In View to you sounds like a hip song. If I changed the voice of the singer, would you be like, oh, that's a hip song?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, look, the band itself, as you know, if you've had Paul, I had Paul on in the basement.
I literally had Paul in the
I
basement.
know you did. I know you're much better than me. And but he
Say
said
it again.
You're Jesus Christ. You're out of control. What I will say is this. Even Paul says there are Tragically Hip albums, and then there are the deep cut albums, right? And I think he goes, there's albums that even the band doesn't like, right? They've done so much.
What does the band think of In View?
Yeah, we should.
I'll bet you. I mean, next time I have a member in the basement, I'm going to ask them what they think of In View.
Well, because again, everybody
It's a Bob
knows
Rock
the Bob
song.
Rock issue, right? So I just don't think it's an outlier. I think it's.
But you know what I said?
I don't
this
think
would be the most controversial of them. But I think it's partly because the hip have such a enormous catalog of known songs.
But you know,
we know too much.
But you know what's it's a good controversy for Outliers, because the problem that I had with Outliers in the beginning was that I thought an outlier still sounds like the band normally. It's just not that different. So like I think that Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven is almost an outlier in some ways because it was their first hit. And I also almost thought that When Doves Cry for Prince is almost an outlier because nobody's ever had a song with no bass guitar in it before, with no bass, where it was just a drum machine and a voice. And it was groundbreaking at the time.
Creep by Radiohead, is that an outlier, Jim?
A little bit.
I think so. Yeah.
No, samples in that song.
But Pablo, you know what that whole album would be?
What is that? It's a reminiscent of
The Air That I Breathe.
Wouldn't it be? The problem is Pablo Honey is all that way.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, it wasn't until during the.
What about Green Day's Good Riddance?
It can just go away. I mean,
The Time of Your Life. Is that an outlier, Jim?
It's sort of an outlier.
Kind of.
But that's the thing.
But
like,
again, it's a ballad.
Yeah.
Essentially.
And so outliers always, like, to me, it's a little bit of a tricky subject because of the fact that the band always sort of has that sound in them anyways. Like Queen had such a variety of songs.
Oh, well, you can't
There's no
say Queen,
outliers for
no.
Queen because everything is an outlier, which is kind of a cool thing.
But that's what we talked off the top
Yeah, with
about
Pearl
Pearl
Jam.
Jam.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
hip are like Pearl Jam in that there's so much.
yeah, that's right.
But here, just to remind people, and I know they have a lot. They've changed their sound.
This wasn't the same album, was it?
No,
Oh, no.
Okay,
This
see,
this is like 20 years later.
yeah,
This is in the 80s.
Yeah.
89, I guess.
Yeah,
Right.
89 it comes out.
Up to here. Go ahead.
I
Bob.
still
Bob's
think
upset
that
at me.
I just still think that there is, yes, this is not as fully produced a song. This is them doing like their bluesy Rolling Stones thing.
Yeah.
This is like might as well, but it's still I still don't think they ever. I don't know. I love the Tragically Hip. I don't think you could compare them to a Pearl Jam with a breadth of sound. They had a pretty good, like if you is it Spin magazine back in the day put together, listen to Pearl Jam as a garage rock band, listen to Pearl Jam as a prog rock band, listen to Pearl Jam
You're
as a
making
punk
my
band.
point, which is why In View is
But
such
you
an outlier.
you can't do that with the Tragically Hip. All their stuff sounds too much the same.
Except I would say though that song does sound more like they're trying to have a pop song.
Yeah,
like a
but
pop
that
hit.
doesn't mean
It
it's an
is.
outlier.
No,
Bob
I know.
Bob Rock wanted a radio-friendly pop song,
Yeah.
and he got In View,
Yeah.
which is a radio. It's the only hip. Okay, not the only one because Ahead by there's others. Ahead by a Century, Bob Cajun or whatever. But it is the most Kiss 92.5 as a hip song.
I see. I mean, I would.
Have you ever listened to Kiss 92.5? They would never play that song.
Okay, the most mixed 99.9.
There you go. That's better. It's so you're saying it's their Matchbox 20. It's their
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What year did that song was that song done?
2000 and what?
It's when was Bob?
12?
I will tell you
Oh, it's
definitively. here.
that far along. Wow.
Oh yeah.
It's World
Okay.
Container.
Oh, wow.
Which of course is 06.
Oh, 06. Sorry, I was right in between. Anyways, you know what? A for effort, Mike, but take the loss.
I'm gonna need a ruling, so let me know. Mike at TorontoMike.com or find me on Blue Sky.
I'm on Blue Sky now, too.
Yeah, you are welcome.
But you don't
Thank you.
post.
No, I don't.
No, but I'm glad
did.
you're there though.
Oh, and
Yeah.
who's the imposter? Because
Yeah,
you're
somebody
at
has
Bob
Bingo
Willette,
Bob.
and a lot of people think you are at
Bingo Bob, and I'm not. I don't know who has Bingo Bob.
Right.
I wanted to tell you guys, I don't know if you know this or not, but Friday, May 9th, part of the Departure Music Festival, they kind of took over CMW. It's
Yeah.
Randy Lennox and whatnot.
Quite the controversy.
I know. There's the second annual Dave Bookman tribute concert is happening.
yeah, I talked about this actually
With,
with Ian Blurden.
Yeah, so he's going to be there. It's all music of the Tragically Hip. It's called. I love the title of the night. Let's get friendship right, which is a great lyric of this. Yeah, you're going to have Ian Blurton's going to be there. Brendan Canning's going to be there. July Talk is going to be there. Well, yeah, Peter and Leah from July Talk. Kevin Hearn.
Wow.
Ben Kowalowitz from.
Billy Talent.
Yeah, all these people, and Talia Schlanger.
Cool.
Anyways, it's on May
the 9th.
Friday, May 9th, 7 p.m. at the Garrison, and it's free to get in. All you got to do is donate some food.
Wow.
Yep. It's an Indie 88 Presents. That's why.
No, I hyped it up with Ian Blurden because he's part of the house band.
That's cool.
Yes, he is.
And I
That's
think it's a
right.
cool event for Gord. So I'm playing this because if you ever saw on Much Music, this is actually back when Much Music existed, so you could watch In View. The video was played on Much Music. In the middle of the video, so not on the album World Container, but in the video, they stop down for a moment and play a sample of this song.
No way.
Why would I lie to you? Why would I lie to you?
Would I
Is
lie
this,
to
Stop
the,
being
is,
nice.
is this the one where they're wearing all white? No. What video is it?
No, you're thinking of In Violet Light.
Violet Light, which I
is
love
a much
that
better
album.
album. Yeah. That's in the forest of
Sorry,
whispering
yeah.
speakers. Let's
get friendship right. That's what it is.
That's right. So this song is called Pretend, but you hear a bit of Pretend in the middle of the In View
That's cool.
video.
Wow.
So there
Speaking
you
of
go.
the Sky Diggers, Andy Mays will be there as well. yeah.
That's that
And
folks'
Josh.
name. Josh Finlayson.
Yeah.
Who did a lot of Josh Finlayson did a lot of Gord Downey's solo work. Worked on a lot of the solo albums there. So there's the connection there.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. And I gotta say, Outliers jams.
Woo!
This is fun. Good songs. Good music all around.
And next time you're on, we're gonna have a new closing theme. Is
Yeah,
that
you
right,
will.
Rob Preuss?
And we're gonna have a new same prime minister.
Is that a prediction?
That's a political prediction.
Well, you know what? I joked on the live stream, and somebody didn't quite get the joke. The joke is, as we learned from the American election,
Yes.
celebrity endorsements are everything.
Yes.
Like if Taylor Swift promotes somebody, they're going to win. And I was saying that because Neil Young,
Yeah, I know.
who I'm going to see soon and I love very much, Neil Young
you going to that-
is
that-
endorsing. I have a ticket to see him when he comes here.
Oh, good for you.
Neil Young is endorsing Mark Carney for Prime Minister, so shut it down. It's over.
Yeah.
We've learned one thing from the Americans: celebrity endorsements are everything.
That's right. Apparently, we shall see.
And Bob, I was going to ask you, are you a Down with Webster fan?
Not at all.
No, me neither. I hate
Couldn't
Down
be-
with Webster.
That's Gene Simmons' band. He's their manager.
Was he? Oh, yes.
Yeah.
It all
He had, like,
comes
a
back to
label or
Kiss. See, we
Back to
started
Kiss.
at
Yeah.
Kiss, and we
Why are
finished
you
at
asking
Kiss.
me about Down with Webster?
Because when Mark Carney won the Liberal leadership and became Prime Minister via that victory, his celebration song is it's got "Win" in the title, but it's a song by Down with Webster.
Are you
That's
sure?
his
Really?
song.
It's not. Wow.
Yes,
Oh no,
I'm sure.
because there's a Win song with like Panic at the Disco.
No,
That's pretty good.
this is Down with Webster.
Oh.
So.
No,
Because you
I-
need a CanCon band if you're going to have a
Right, oh,
a
fair
Prime
enough.
Minister.
Yeah.
So it's Down with Webster, and I was thinking, oh, there's a band I completely ignored because I was too old for that shit.
Yeah.
It was
Yep.
too poppy.
It's that post emo stuff.
Yeah.
So I think people of a younger vintage will have a positive feelings about Down with Webster.
Nobody cares
because
about
when they
that.
were
I
like
bet
11, 12 years old,
Yeah.
they were into Down with Webster.
They couldn't sell out a venue here. I tell you, like you on their own, no way.
No.
They're a manufactured band.
Yeah.
Wow, it's real talk. So no Down with Webster episode of Bob's Basement.
No deep dive
No deep dive.
Holy shit.
into the sound.
Well, gentlemen, this was amazing.
It's a fun one.
And that brings us to the end of our 1,674th show. Go to torontomike.com for all your Toronto Mike needs. And much love to all who made this possible. That's Great Lakes Brewery.
Woo-hoo.
They're actually here at 1 o'clock to record their episode Between Two Fermenters. Stick around. You can meet the great
Yeah,
Troy
stick
Birch,
around. That's
who's
right.
practically Bob's neighbor.
Wow.
You're right. Is that East York? Somebody?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
You're practically neighbors of Troy Birch.
I know. I got to meet him. Well, I can't today though. I got to
Well,
go.
Palma Pasta.
Thank you, Palma Pasta.
I've got a lasagna for you. Moneris, you've got your speaker.
Thank you
Shout
again.
out to Regina.
Yep.
Silver Wax. No joke. I got a whole kit for you.
Amazing.
It's amazing. RecycleMyElectronics.ca. Building Toronto Skyline. And, of course, Ridley Funeral Home.
Shout out to.
Shout out to Ridley Funeral Home. Listen to their podcast, Life's Undertaking.
Yeah.
You've got your measuring tapes.
Yeah.
Got it all.
See you all. I have to go to the calendar. Give me a second here. See you all tomorrow when my special guest in the basement is George Smitherman.
Whoa, former Humble and Fred regular guest.
Wow, we'll
and
talk
former
about
health
that.
minister for Ontario or Canada? I can't remember.
Ontario, I believe.
E-health scandal. Yeah, it was
Really?
Ontario. Oh, yeah.
Dig in,
ask
Mike.
him about the e-health scandal.
Yeah, dig into it.
We're going to get into all of it. See you all.
See ya.
This is the last toast with this version.